How can I start the show without a beer?
Oh my god.
What you wanna,
Give me a Mick Ultra if you can find one.
It's down
Bud
there,
Light.
it's down there in the
Either one.
ice a little bit more.
Anything that's
They're all
got
down
blue
on
on the
the
can,
ice.
I'm good with.
oh, here we go, I got you.
Thank you, sir.
What you want, Craig, Chad, Charles?
I'll get a Mick.
Big fish man.
Sea bass.
Dude, Bass Beer Radio did good yesterday.
Bass and Beer Radio did good yesterday.
Yeah, right. We showed them what's up.
Hell yeah, dude. Shows people what's
You
up.
second and a big fish.
Right,
Pretty good.
yeah.
Second place on a big fish, man. Like, yeah, some of the Bass and Beer Radio guys might know a little something.
We might know a little
Might
bit
know a
what we're talking
little
about.
something.
We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow?
right. We'll definitely see tomorrow.
Oh, your derby's tomorrow up on
Conway.
yeah,
Conway?
we're gonna
to
fish
Conway
them.
to
Dude,
fish
I
that.
gotta get up there with you, dude.
Yeah,
Tell you
no,
what.
anytime. Like,
Yeah.
that is an awesome
dude.
place to fish.
I love it up there.
Even because the thing about that place, and well, the thing of it is it just you always have a chance to
We
catch
go
up
with
with
this
big
smallmouth.
smallmouth.
Feel like this might come. Drop shot. Dude, Hippie Gibbs came through yesterday, dude.
Hippie Gibbs.
Oh, fuck
Did
yeah,
he have
dude.
all the fish?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did it?
yeah. So we won a couple derbies where I called him and he didn't, and we won derbies where he called him and I didn't. Yesterday he did and I did not. He smashed them, dude. He was on point. But and then there's derbies where we both do. But that's why we make a good team. Like we always split everything 50-50. There's never no beef. Like I paid the entry fees, and then he's like, "Let me give you entry fees." Oh fuck no, dude! We use your boat, your gas, take the winnings, split them. Like I feel like I didn't even do my part. You know what I mean? He was smashing them, but I'm not the dude that's like going to throw on the same thing.
Right.
Like I'm gonna keep trying.
Because
You guys got to do different things and try to
Right.
identify.
And sometimes
what
what
they
he's
want right
doing
now.
is working, and what I'm doing is not, and
Yeah.
vice versa. But that makes a good team, right?
No,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
absolutely.
I mean, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what it takes.
Hippie Gibbs a beast.
Hippie Gibbs. I wonder if he'll be coming on.
Yeah, he
I
said
was
he'll be
talking-
on. He said he'll be
I
on
was
tonight.
talking to Brian Dyson a little bit earlier today.
They got big snakehead.
Yeah, they got big
Yeah.
snakehead,
How big
9
was it?
pounds.
Yeah.
That's going.
9-pound snakehead.
Are we live yet?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, we're live.
They got big snakehead, him and Tom, and I think they caught a limit as well. Like they had like 5 or 6 pounds, I think. I could be wrong. I don't quite remember, but I think they had their limit and they got big snakehead. I don't know. Greg and Scott did. Paul had 2 fish for 1 pound.
I can't remember if they just got paid. They had 2 fish for 1 pound.
I don't know. His wife caught
No.
both of those. Paul ain't catch
Oh
shit.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Nah, it was a grind, dude. It
Yeah, it
was
was
a
tough.
grinder.
It was less weight than last week. Greg had 9 in the first solstice, and then it was only 8 pounds yesterday.
Yeah, like, dude, it was a serious
Oh dear.
Here we go.
It was a serious grind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I saw Tony, and I was like, "Hey, you catching them, Tony?" He's like, "I got a couple." I was like, "We got a couple." He's like, "Are they over 1 pound?" When he said that, I was like, "Maybe they're not catching them." Tony's asking me that. Obviously, he's not catching big ones.
I didn't
Dude,
catch
I'm not
anything.
gonna lie. I couldn't. So like the deal for me last night was, man, me and Skylar we were frogging pretty much the whole time.
Wow, that
Skylar
people
started out, he
frog.
was doing a little bit of flipping, with and anyways, dude, we fished the whole time and got nothing. 8:30 came around, like I was seeing bass boats start to come down and go back towards the ramp and everything, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm like, we got to freaking get going. And dude, 8:30 hit. Dude, the tide didn't turn around until late last night.
You might as well call me. Can't get a bite. Should have been my name.
And 8:30 within the last 10 minutes, just boom, just cast after cast, just boom, boom, boom. They just turned on in the area that I was in,
Yeah, I heard
and I
that.
put those fish in the boat. And luckily, that 3.75 ended up taking longer last night, which I was surprised. I thought it might have been 4, maybe.
Are you surprised that it took longer, or surprised that it was under 4?
I'm surprised that it took longer. at 3.75.
You got to remember it's
If
something.
I would have been a little less surprised if it was in the 4 pound range.
Oh, my
But
bad. Shut up, Craig.
Phoebe spiked that one.
Try to
pretty
share
good.
the link. And, yeah, just Craig talking.
Phoebe made the drink spicy the right challenge.
It really. I gotta try mine. Trying to get the link. Trying to share it.
Like that's
We
early
can't be-
morning stuff right
we
there.
can't be going. We can't be going too hard. We got a freaking.
Tournament.
We got the tour.
Oh, you guys
We gotta
fishing
fish.
together tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I
We're
can't
fishing,
get
we're
it.
fishing the open water.
Hey,
Huh?
it's
I
open.
know I can.
Take Givens up there. Come on, man.
I don't know what Hippie Gibbs doing tomorrow. He's probably going to like a 30 Heads concert.
Look, you guys. If you guys fish tomorrow, you let me know. I'll put you on a little something.
You seen this picture yet? Look at Craig. I want the people to see that. Just
Kyle
when you're
Barney-
running, like you're running in the background.
I'm a running
I
man.
just went on Facebook to share the link, and like you're in the background running behind Tom Snakehead, dude. No shirt on, like just streaking in the
It was
background.
It
dude.
was
Like-
hot yesterday. I don't know anybody
It's hot
had
today,
clothes on
too.
yesterday, dude. It was hot. It was brutal.
Dude, today was brutal as well.
Today was
Like,
freaking
did you
brutal.
guys fish today? or
I
no?
crabbed today, actually.
You did. How'd you do?
We got a couple dozen. We had, I think, 2.5. Me and a couple buddies went down to the Severn River. I've never
Okay.
crabbed it before, so that was cool. It was nice. It's only 40 minutes away.
Anne Arundel County, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right off of 97, pretty much. But it's a 40-minute drive, and I'm not gonna say we lit them up. I think if we stayed all day, we could have caught a bushel for sure.
Right.
But really good big crabs. I mean, good thick.
Heavy.
Are they heavy
healthy
crabs?
Yes,
Nice full
very,
crabs?
very, very nice crabs. Which is, cool. I used to crab a lot as a kid, and never. I don't get to do it as much anymore. So going back and shout out to Kevin and his dad, Mr. Dan, for taking me out because that was a lot of fun. I totally remember how much I enjoy that. So we should definitely.
See Brian on there, right?
Yeah, Brian's on there.
You know what I was thinking about today? That's part of the reason why I asked you if you'd be open to crabbing, because I would totally be down to get like a trot line. We should go out one day.
My brother, dude. Hit
When
my
the-
brother up.
When the gunpowder gets good, we should go out crab and throw like a freaking pool party or something for the people that watch the show.
I'm down. But
Just
dude,
get a bunch of beers, get some crabs, and then invite some people over. Like, hey, if you watch the show and you want to come over and hang out and bullshit.
If the
like,
crabbing gets good enough.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna spend $500 on a bushel of crabs. I'm sorry, I love you guys, but I'm not going
Oh,
to.
yeah.
But I mean,
unless we reach like 9,000 subscribers.
yes, that'd be nice.
That'd be pretty
nice.
sweet.
I'll pitch in on that. Like,
By the way, if you do end up wanting to watch this, you can watch this. Go back and rewatch each episode on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitch, Facebook, and we have an Instagram page, which I did not set up the live stream for tonight.
dude, I'm terrible at sharing this freaking link. There's like people like sending the link.
So-
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned on the last episode, but we were going to do Four Locos on one of these shows.
Oh hell no!
I practiced that Wednesday night, and we're not doing it, as you can tell. There's a reason for that. rough, gentlemen. I never really messed with them in college, and then I was like, I gotta try one of these. So I did. I tried 2 of them, actually, because the first one I drank in 15 minutes. I was like, wow, this is not terrible. Like, I feel great. Halfway through the second one, I'm like hit by a train. Like, well, I gotta finish it now. Worst decision I've ever made. I mean, I was like not like dying or nothing, but it was like, holy shit. Like, yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Uppers and downers mixed together generally aren't good like that.
Yeah, no, that was the thing, is it wasn't like the effects of the alcohol that was bad. It was just like the mixture of everything. And they were sours too. They were 4 Loko sours, which is even worse.
Mm.
So
I can't say I have like great experience with the Four Loko.
So, but anyway, I want to take a moment to talk about the t-shirts that me and you were wearing. We
Yeah.
had a third Robbie wearing it too, but basically these are the Bass Munitions official t-shirts that Mr. Larry Payne sent us. Thanks again, Mr. Larry Payne. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing for the industry and what you do for us.
Thank you, sir. And by the way, we want to say, what was the key bite for you guys last night, Rob?
Drop shot. Bass Munitions drop shot.
Drop shot in the Holston worm. It's
You guys-
it's
on
the
the-
drop
on-
shot bait.
On the grass
Second
edges.
place. Second place.
Yep.
On the grass edges, dude.
Second place
Not
on the
in the
grass.
grass. I know the solstice was one in the grass. The
Well,
key
and
was outside the grass.
But the really cool thing is when you talk about what we'll say Joppatown, right? Because it's not really, if you just say that's not spot burn, right? But talk about Joppatown, how many people really go out there and drop shot? Very few. So the fact that, and you, like you said before, you're a power fishing guy. Like the fact that you guys put that in your hand the
This was
first
the deal.
time and then
And
go and
second place in this tournament.
that's pretty cool. It's pretty impressive.
I
This
do have
this
to
is
clarify.
a great worm.
One of us did.
Okay, but
It's very
Okay,
hard to get
well,
me to drop shot.
was that the first time he'd ever thrown that worm?
Yes.
Okay. So that's
We gave him a
that's
couple
pretty cool,
packs.
man.
He stuck a couple
Yeah.
packs to old Hippie Gibbs there, and Hippie Gibbs put him to work yesterday.
Yeah, Hippie Gibbs can finesse.
Yeah, man. Ended up
Riverboat
landing
Rob
landing
cannot.
the fish for second place, which is sick. On the Holston worm. I'm telling you, this was a deadly worm. Actually, I caught a couple fish on it today. Nothing big or nothing like that, but this is definitely a good looking worm. Check it out at bassmunitionslures.com. They got even more than the Holston worm, man. They got all your flipping baits and all that stuff. But I have a little bit of footage of this worm working its way through
Do we
some
really
cover.
have the streamer that says 15 pounds ain't shit?
Yeah,
That is amazing.
yeah. Isn't that
is
great?
hilarious.
Yeah, man. 15 pounds ain't shit.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
Y'all ain't right.
That's so awesome. It just keeps going. I love it. I love it.
15 pounds.
That's it.
That's our motto.
Check this shit out, everybody. Here's a little bit of footage of this fantastic worm. It's not only can you drop shot this worm, I have rigged this with a Z-Man Nedhead EWG hook, and it works fantastic at like the form of a shaky head as well. Drop shot it. You can wacky Senko this worm. This is a really nice finesse plastic worm.
Hey,
Check
second
this out.
place.
Dude, we're gonna have to give them royalties for that. You know that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys check that
Yeah,
out.
man, check it out, man. That is the Holston worm right there, just rigged up with a little net head and a fantastic option. Let me tell you, we are going to be utilizing this in our tournament tomorrow for the smallmouth.
Yes, we are.
Not to give away our juice or anything like that, but this is the juice.
Dude, it won us second place yesterday. So
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
brother.
I lost.
Remember, I had them in my pocket. And I showed you like Bernice for
Yeah,
for
man.
Hippie Gibbs and
Freaking well, dude, they have
put
all
them
sorts.
on and went.
They
to work,
have
dude.
all sorts of colors. Like here's the other one.
We started on work.
That is the Bass Munitions Lures Holston worm.
Yep.
Fantastic worm. BassMunitionsLures.com for all your soft plastic needs.
There's a couple people, I believe, that's in from my work, and I just gotta say, apologize to y'all. I go 0 to 100 very quickly. Y'all don't need to know about that. I'm just saying. If you're watching, I apologize. That's all I can say. Dude. That's all I got to say.
Rob is an intense man.
You know, shit. I'm not as intense as when Hippie Gibbs don't catch them.
Hippie Gibbs
Oh,
was
yeah,
intense, dude.
Leave
Really?
me at the bank, dude, because
Really?
oh, he's Italian, dude. You know,
Damn, that's
Yeah,
funny.
blooded.
I like it.
Woo, we ain't
Hey, that's
catching 'em.
passionate, man.
I love
Gotta
it,
have
dude.
it. Gotta have it.
I gotta calm him down. I'm the opposite. So I'm like, dude, calm down. It's all good. And he's like, I love your attitude, Rob. I was like, we make a good team. We're total opposites.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I do go 0 to 100 once in a while.
Sometimes I have to take a step back too. Like when I'm out fit, like I get like this. I get this like competitive feeling when I'm out fishing. Like you feel the need, like you need to like prove yourself for some reason. But in reality, dude,
dude,
we're going out there to fish and just have a good time. And no matter what, you come back to the ramp, whether you have the winning weight or you have nothing at all, and all your friends are back at the ramp, and you just talk fishing and chill. Like
right, I'm good with that.
Nobody gives a shit, man. Like
Evan does. Evan's like, fuck that, bro.
Dude, all I'm saying is there's some big ass sticks out there, and some of the biggest sticks come back, and they don't have the weight.
We need some. Dorte was out there yesterday.
Dorte was out there yesterday.
Yeah, Dorte Hammer. Good dude though. Like, he's super freaking cool. I love him.
Humble.
So I told Dorte, I'm like, dude, we be rooting for you. Not at the Thursday nighters, so you don't need to come to these. But when you're fishing those Toyota series, we be rooting for you.
No, absolutely.
And then he was like, I had a 5-pounder, but it came off. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry for you, Mike. Sorry, Mike. Man. I feel so bad for you, dude. Nah, super good dude. Honestly, he's so I call him like the local hero. And Evan laughs at me like he is our local hero, man. You're gonna be the next pro, and you fish with us. Good luck, brother. Just don't come to no more Thursday nighters. We don't need you there. Right. Stay away from those. Come do fish those Toyota series and win them. And we got your back.
I think the thing I respect the most about him and some of the other guys in the local scene is the guys that travel and do well have a lot of respect, in my opinion, because when I did the college thing, and I was not nearly as good as some of these other guys, but when I did the college thing, like traveling and figuring them out on different lakes and completely different systems, that's a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not trying to take away from anybody who's a good fisherman, right? Like, I think I would rather be able to go to Smith Mountain, Kentucky Lake, and Grand Lake and catch 15, 16 pounds a tournament than catch 18 to 20 every single time on the bay, because what you do on the bay, for the most part, doesn't really translate a lot of places. And I have fished a lot of places.
But those guys also, Tony, which to your point, they can fish rivers, they can fish lakes, they can fish reservoirs.
Yes.
Like they can get dialed in on what the fish are doing, no matter what kind of, like, if you take me out of tidal water.
There's some guys in my
I'm a tidal water guy. I'm a river guy. Like,
yeah,
take me out of that. I probably.
There's some guys in my club that are really, really good fishermen. I mean, and you know who I'm talking about. Some guys that are really good sticks,
some straight up sticks
on the bay, especially the flats that go up to Conowingo and other places, and just like throw their hands up, like I don't know what's happening. Like that's what I don't.
They don't put time in up there either.
Well, and that's just it.
You
know what I mean? Like, I feel like as a fisherman, you're only doing yourself a disservice if you just do the same thing again and again and again. Like, how much better, do you get going to the flats every Saturday, having the same assortment of baits, running the same waypoints that you've had for the last 5-6 years, and just hoping to eventually run into them? I'm not saying it's always like that. There are definitely guys that figure out intricacies, time of year, dates, and things like that. But like, there are definitely. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
That's actually my boss.
That's fantastic.
Yes. I'm showing you text.
Story.
Hilarious.
Does she know the story?
No, but it's.
You're gonna have to explain it to her.
I will. I'll fill you in.
No, one day, like we're gonna have to explain the story online.
Nah, you
can't. we can, but we can't. We shouldn't, but we probably will.
Let's just do enough beers. We're gonna end up doing it.
That'll be the 4 local episodes.
We just wait. I have some stickers coming.
Do you actually?
Do they say? Do they say 15 pounds ain't shit?
15 pounds ain't shit.
We have to send them something. Be like, by the way, thank you.
It'd be hilarious.
100% in a good sport.
Bro, this is all out of love, for real. Like, this is just funny and all out of love. But yeah, man, like for real.
So
I am getting some stickers made that say 15 pounds ain't shit.
So,
and nobody judge the saying until you understand the background story. Because it is just funny, man. Like, it's love. It's pure fun. Though.
Well, real quick, I see Brian is on. So what's up, Brian? Congrats on Big Snakehead yesterday.
Yeah,
that thing was a giant. I think it was like 9 pounds or something like that.
Big shittiest fish in the gunpowder.
Yeah, you caught the shittiest fish around. Dude, Brian and them caught like one derby they come in, right? And Brian's like, we would have had big snakehead if Tom didn't beat the shit out of it when I got it to the boat and it came off. But and then I see my brother's on, and that's why I was like, "Hey, Tony." So my brother keeps his boat up there now in Conowingo.
Oh,
So
right.
I told him to hit
Okay.
you up. So
Yeah.
if Pete hits you up, dude,
Yeah,
he's like
absolutely.
trying to see if you can show him around
Sure.
up there.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Yeah. So and he says, "What's up?" So what's up, Pete?
Yeah, I'm happy to because like, and here's the thing, and I'll say to anybody watching who's familiar with Conowingo who wants to learn it, Conowingo is probably the hardest body of water to fish, in my opinion. The reason for that is because things change not minute wise. There's no set timeline for when things are going to change up there, right?
It's human-made change that makes the
Exactly.
difference.
I call
Because
it the
it's
meanest-
flood by the dams that is going to make the difference,
Exactly.
and the levels make the difference.
I've had water. I've actually last tournament we were in water that was flowing from Conowingo back up to Holdwood.
Right.
So like everything about it changes by the second. You know what I mean? Which
So-
is
I want to know but I think it's called Conowingo Creek. So if you launch at Broad Creek, you go straight across, and you
it
go
would
on
be
that little
Glen
bridge.
Cove. Glen Cove.
Went
So-
over there and caught the meanest largemouth I ever caught in my life.
I want to look at what
He was the meanest fucking fish you ever saw. He was meaner than a snakehead. He kept biting me like I'm trying to get the hook off. He's like biting on my finger and
Right.
shit. I'm like, God damn, this fucker is mean.
Yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
it's the thing I like up there is you can fish to your strengths 100% of the time, right?
Right.
If you're somebody that likes to fish grass, you go up there and fish grass. Not a lot of people know that. I'm not going to tell you where, but if you know the place, you know what I'm talking about. If you like fishing hard structure, you can go up there and fish hard structure.
Like
That's what I'm gonna
laydowns?
do. Laydowns, wood, docks. There are docks. So that option is available. If you like fishing rocks, obviously there's tons of rocks. If you like going up in the Lost Ark and fishing without islands, that seriously,
I do want to go up there.
You can do that. You can fish offshore. You can sit out in the middle of the lake and fish offshore.
100 foot deep or some shit,
It
right?
used to be, not anymore.
How deep is it?
So
what'd you say?
up in the tail right. So I started fishing there in 2017 when I had my old fiberglass bass tracker because I didn't know about the flats. I didn't know how to get around in Joplin. I just didn't know anything. That was the only place where I could, in my opinion at the time, just run the boat and fish different spots, right? But when I first started going out there, you could launch your boat at Broad Creek 100% of the time. Like it wasn't
Can I
so
get a beer, Rob?
Yes,
like you would go out.
This is
in the middle-
bass and beer. You need to continuously drink
Like
beer.
you would go out in the middle of the lake, and you would see
Thanks,
70 to 90 foot deep stuff.
Oh, hell no.
But now it's like places where now there are still some deeper holes, but for the most part, it's in that 30 to 50 foot range. Now, when you go all the way up north,
That's
like-
some live scale shit.
When you almost get to right above the dam.
so when you're when you're near the pumping station,
Right.
the Muddy Run pumping station, it'll go from 100 foot to like 3.
100 foot to 3.
And like I'm talking like that, like I'm smacking my helix, like what the fuck's going on? But no, like it's real. So, it's a really really cool place. The quality of fish is there, but it's tough. It is a tough fishery. There are so many places.
There's
for
so
those
many
fish to
factors.
go. Right.
Right.
That's what it makes me. It brings me back.
So
to
here-
what we brought to talk about tonight in our
What was
description.
that, honey or something?
Oh, you don't like that?
It was, I'm not a whiskey guy, I'm more of a tequila guy, but that's a whole other thing.
One of the key things I wanted to
Tequila makes your clothes come off. Whiskey,
True.
yeah, you know.
makes people angry.
Whiskey.
No,
Makes
tequila is the only alcohol that's not a depressant. It's an upper, not a downer.
Is that actually
For real?
true?
It's,
I feel like
100%
alcohol is
true.
No
alcohol.
wonder I love tequila so
It's
much.
100% true.
Holy crap.
Tequila is the upper.
That's why people get
All
so
other
annihilated
alcohol
off
is a
tequila.
depressant. At least that was told to me by I had a boss one time that was used to be a bartender, and that's what he told me. And now, even if it's not true, I believe it. And when I drink it, I have feel it. I'll tell you what's a downer: the freaking mosquitoes.
Yes.
Them
Oh
bitches
my
suck.
god! I'm gonna start selling off up there.
Them bitches suck.
I'm bringing like 10 cans of off. And
We're
selling
throwing
for
some
like-
of that shit in the freaking prize box for next
we
week.
do some Bass and Beer Radio
Oh, did I
off.
slip on that?
What's that?
Did I slip on that?
On what?
The prize box.
next week.
Well, we might as well talk about it. I was actually
Well,
going to
we
ask
still
you.
got. Hey, look, I donated. We got Do what you want.
Oh, is this going out to somebody in the tournament? next
Rob's throwing in some straight up fire into this box.
Some
that's gonna be
OG
donated.
shit.
Like I don't know, y'all want to get like first, second, and third. I'm telling you, y'all might want to get fourth place next week.
Dude,
week?
have you watched? There's this. It's called Pond Wars. Have you watched this? So Pond Wars. Saw that Major League Fishing guys, and they compete, and they also there's like a dude who cooks on the grill and does like briskets and stuff while they're fishing. But they have a trophy called Dead Ass Last. You can win it, and it's a freaking donkey ass bobblehead. Swear to God, dude, you gotta watch it, dude. So I'm like, damn, I want to win the Dead Ass Last trophy. So maybe if you come in Dead Ass Last, just maybe.
I
Like,
know
yeah.
what we could do for that. So you know Matt Robertson on the Elite Series?
Yeah,
On
on
There's a hat that says off him.
them.
So one day or every show, somebody's got to wear the hat.
Yeah.
Well, there's even a better one. It's net man. You just netting your partner's fish,
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah. So you can wear off them. I'll wear net man, and Craig can wear Charles hat. Charles the Lunker King. Got Lunker yesterday, dude.
Got longer yesterday, man.
Is that the first time you've ever been in the money in the tournament?
Yeah, he had
that's
the
awesome.
That's the third.
That's super
It's
awesome.
only the third tournament I've ever fished.
No, that's cool.
But
That's fun.
that was the first time you made the money.
Yeah,
it's a great feeling. Man.
So I
you
can't
came
even-
home
so I
yesterday.
can't
You
even say I
were
was in the
dancing.
money.
You was like,
I was stoked yesterday.
drinking your beer.
I was
Right.
stoked yesterday
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, it's a high.
I can't
dude.
say I was in the money though. I got fourth place, but I got
But
lucky.
you got paid.
I got paid, but the thing was,
Did
dude,
you
I'm telling
come
we got
home-
all the way to the bottom of like the weigh-in list, and then I got bumped off third. I was like,
I kind of contribute that on my bad. It was more Hippie Gibbs' fault than mine. But did you come
dude,
home
it's
with
this
more
freaking
money?
Bass Munitions lures.
Did you come home with more money than you had?
I came in with more money than I paid.
Then you were in the money.
It's good. I was in the money.
Right.
It was
You
a good
didn't
time
lose
yesterday.
money. You
It was
made
a
money.
good time yesterday.
Even if it was $5.
That was
you
my
made
goal.
money.
My goal yesterday was to get 3 fish.
Wait a minute. What was Lunker? How much money?
3.75 and $180.
You made a hell of money, dude. You made over $100.
Hell yeah. It's going to pay for some more beer at the
That's
next tournament.
in the money, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I would say you're in the money.
you went home $100 richer.
So let me tell
You
you
could
what.
have stopped at Wendy's and everything, dude.
The
But
180.
you couldn't have filled up your truck.
I fully intend on
You
taking.
couldn't have got gas.
Fully intend
Nah,
on
not
taking.
with Joe Biden's economy.
No.
You could not got gas.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was president, $1.97. You might have been all right, but not now,
All
dude.
right. Let me say though, I intend on taking most of that money and absolutely like reinvesting it back into Bass and Beer Radio, and we're gonna get some lures and stuff together for giveaways for like the future tournaments.
So,
we
like-
might as well just like recirculate it right back into the scene.
Paul's not on tonight, but one of our
Almost have the
loyal,
tournament tomorrow.
loyal
He still normally
listeners,
gets on.
Luis, and I explained to him today because he works with me. It was like, hey, you guys got to link Riverboat Rob and Bass and Beer together. So I was like, that's our goal. We are, and that not only that, but Givens Media,
Right.
Phil, big shout out to Phil if you're on. But it's all we're going to link it all together. We're all friends. We're all trying to build this thing together.
Yeah,
Bass
man.
and Beer, Riverboat Rob, Givens Media. It's all
gonna come
We're working
together as
on
one. Work on it,
putting it
man.
all together.
Dude, freaking
We might even let Brian Dyson come in once in a while.
maybe.
He's on. He's
But
on tonight,
freaking
so, you know.
Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say.
Man,
You know what I mean?
Brian Dyson wasn't built in a day.
No matter what,
Maybe
this
he
is
was.
no matter what, this is what we love to do,
I
and
hope
we
he's
have
still
fun doing this. We're lure junkies. We're fishing junkies. I could have one person watching this show right now, and I would be talking my balls off about fishing because I just, dude, it don't matter to me, man. This is just fun.
We're working on some
We're working on
bigger names, special guests in the future.
We're working on special
People
guests.
we know.
Yeah.
Right.
People we cross paths with.
Yep.
We're definitely going to have Brian on here.
Like
Paul
Paul,
Batters.
Batters.
Um,
I would
maybe
love-
Duarte.
I would love to have
Come
Duarte
on.
if that was
But,
possible. He's always busy, like traveling with the MLF thing and all that stuff.
I'm sure he would do it.
I would
But
love to have Greg Hall on. Greg
Yeah,
Hall would be
Greg.
great to talk to. Man.
Scott.
Scott. Scott would be awesome to have.
Scott does more
Conservation aspect is
than anybody.
Awesome. Yeah.
Than anybody.
So
Like,
who's one
Scott-
of the special guests you actually talk to every once in a while that you want? No, you want to talk about it?
No, but there's even no. Soon though.
From the heavens.
Soon though. I'm actually going to do once I reach 250 subscribers, and I haven't even put this on my channel yet. A giveaway that people are.
This is gonna blow your mind.
I'm gonna put a little post up about it. But yeah, we need to link everything together. We probably need. You know who we should have on here first?
Can we link the YouTube pages and shit?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we need to figure out. But we need to have Phil on here.
Yeah.
Phil Gibbons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to Phil at the Friday Solstice definitely about coming on the podcast.
Yeah, we need to have
Love
Phil
him
on here. I'll hit him up, but I'm sure Phil would definitely 100% come on. But dude, he's like filming and media and editing wise. Like he's working with Bass University. He's
Right.
working with Ike Live. They're going fishing with Ryan Salzman. Then he's like been to KVD's house.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wild.
And
That's awesome.
this hippie Gibbs' brother, dude.
Hippie Gibbs.
Right, that's his brother. So we can get Phil on, and then start working with Phil. So I really think let's bring Phil on, dude. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'll be down to do it. He may be watching, he may not.
We gotta reach out.
But no, me and him we're good. You know, he does a lot of filming on my channel. But I think he would be a really good guest. Then there's well, you know this. I would say names, but like Ben and Eric.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Maybe Travis, which Paul would be mad about, but still,
Possible.
Brian.
Possible.
No,
Possible
maybe
Riley. Possible
Hey,
Riley.
Paul can't stand him, dude. I don't know.
You
why.
know who we need to bring on is I don't know if you ever met him. I don't think you have. A guy in my club who's a co-angler, Travis Metz.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
This guy is an absolute beast. Like I'm telling you, this guy. For those of you guys that are watching that follow Team Outcast or you fish Mr. Bass,
Oh, Outcast, yeah.
SQC,
Yeah.
you fish the SQTs, like is a really good friend of mine. I've learned a lot about fishing from him. Travis Metz.
Yeah.
So he's cousins with a guy you might have heard of. What's his name? Ott Defoe. You ever heard of Ott Defoe?
Yeah, I kind of heard of him.
Yeah,
a
so
little bit.
those
One of the
guys,
classic one
they
time.
fish together like all the time.
Really?
They're
Wow.
blood, man. So like
Wow.
they talk all the time. Me and Travis, every time we have gone fishing, it has been an event. Like I'm talking like a memorable event.
Right.
So we definitely should have him on because I know he's won Mr. Bass a multitude of times. I know he was in contention for winning nationals last year.
Oh, wow.
Or
The Bass
Regionals,
Bass
Savannah.
Nation, or yeah.
Oh yeah, he can fish. Like he can fish. Like exceptionally
Definitely
well.
fish.
I mean, that tournament we had on the bay the same day that you went out after us, I think it took 14 pounds to win the boater side. Travis on the back of the boat catches 20.
Did you hear about Keith Poche on the James River? With
No.
the Bassmaster Open?
Mm-mm.
So he brung his. So I don't know if people follow Keith Poche.
I love, the Off the Grid series is awesome.
The Off the Grid
This is
series
incredible.
is like my favorite shit. So he has the Gator tracks with
Did
like
he bring the
125, but
Okay.
it's like jack plated up. Yeah.
Did you bring the
Super
little
flat
one or
mount?
the big one?
No, he brung his little boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That
He
means,
came in
he's
second.
that means he's on some sneaky shit over there.
Dude, they said he was like, it was like where he was fishing. It was like we couldn't even find GPS coordinates for how far he went back.
Wow.
Right.
That's
Came in second though. Caught like
So
20 some pounds a day.
you know what's interesting about that is he used to fish the FLW tour.
Right.
And
yeah.
that was back when John Cox was in the FLW tour.
John Cox, first of all, before we go any further, John Cox is the man.
Yes, absolutely agree.
He's the man.
But so on the Flint River, John Cox.
We should get him on.
Oh my God, I
I
would.
talked to him before.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
For real?
Yeah, we talked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he actually gave me some juice one time
Really?
for a tournament when I hit him up for some advice about a tournament.
Around here?
Yes.
Really?
And he gave me some juice on
That's
like,
awesome.
you should probably try this or that.
Really?
Swear to God, I'll show you.
Yeah, no, I love
messages.
watching John Cox fish because he's like up until very, very recently, he's maybe a 7-inch graph on the front and he don't even use it. You know what I mean?
Dude,
He just goes and
there
fishes.
was like-
Goes fishing.
It was like, do you use front facing? Do you use forward facing sonar? He was like, well, my sponsors gave me one, but it's been sitting in my truck all year. I ain't putting it on yet.
Right.
Right.
Right. Because
He don't fish over. So they were making fun of him one day because he was like, I'm fishing deep water. It was like, how deep? And he's like, 8 foot. That's deep.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he was like a local guy fishing Joppatown? Oh my God.
He probably would come on the show. I will work on it. I kind of know him a little bit.
That would
Insane.
be amazing.
That'd be insane.
I would be super excited to hear that.
Dude, I would love to interview John Cox.
Yes.
He's like my favorite fisherman. Him, Keith Carson, Keith Poche. I don't fish. I don't even never come on my depth finder. Like people that go on the boat with me were like, "You never come on your depth finder." Like, I don't know why. Fuck. If I had 360, that's a different story.
360 would be my choice over live.
I don't use mine as much as I should.
Dude, so I went to a seminar with Greg DePalma.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, number one question that people ask me, should I get a 360 or forward facing sonar?
Depends where you are and what you're doing.
Dude, he 1000% was like, get a 360. You know?
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, how many tournaments are you fishing where smallmouth are going to win?
Right.
Not a ton. Even on the Elite Series, it's what, maybe 3 out of 8 at
Plus-
most, 2?
Plus on the day, how much are you really fishing offshore?
If you're
Maybe
fishing-
you go up to Conowingo where you
Yes.
go. But say you're fishing Gunpowder or Dundee or the Flats.
Mhm.
How deep was it?
3 to 5,
Right.
maybe.
Right.
Yeah. No,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. You know?
But no,
Yeah.
yeah, John Cox, that would be exciting. That would be super exciting. But anyway, the
I'll
point
work
I
on
was
that.
getting at is there's a lot of guys on these tours that don't like these guys bring out these little 16, 17 foot boats because they can get where nobody else can get.
Yeah.
Like John, I remember it was a 2011 FLW tour. I watched it 100 times where John Cox was taking a piece of 2x4, pushing through a pipe to get to his spot.
He won that
And
shit.
he won that tournament doing
Yeah.
that. And I think it was the tournament after that or sometime later that year, FLW was like, look, you got to have a 20-foot boat and it's got to have 200 or whatever horsepower.
But
Because everyone was complaining.
you know what's interesting about that, Tony?
That's stupid.
But
He fished out of a Ranger the last day.
his very best friend, Keith Carson, who they grew up fishing together, won co-angler 2. So
On
they
his boat?
no.
Oh,
So he was like they couldn't fish together.
okay.
He drew a different person, but he won co-angler and John Cox won boater. Dude, they're just hammers, dude.
Yeah.
They're hammers. Like total hammers. The best shallow water fisherman ever. John
Yeah,
Cox.
I would agree. I mean,
Keith Poche's up there too.
Bill Lowen is the only.
Bill Lowen.
Bill Lowen. There's
Bill
3.
Lowen.
But
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a second, I can't say it could be anyone but Bill Lowen, only because Bill Lowen's on the Elite Series. But Keith Poche, all 3 of those guys are phenomenal shallow water
I
fishers.
don't know how many people watched when Bassmasters came here in '91. No, it might have been the one after that. The
15.
one that Aaron Martins won.
That was at 15.
Davey Height fished the pond.
Thank you. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Bill Lowen fished Swan Creek.
Right.
And
Yeah. And spinnerbait.
And if you go back and look, the bottom of his boat
low
was
tide.
touching the mud the
It was
whole
low
time.
tide. Right.
Like
Yeah.
the whole time he was like, and this is Bill Lowen we're talking about, the shallow water Shogun, right? Oh man, there we go. Bill Lowen, the shallow water Shogun, was like, I cannot believe how shallow these fish are.
Right.
When somebody like that is catching them shallow, I was like, holy shit, they're shallow. That's when you know they are
Right.
up a nothing.
On a spinnerbait.
Right.
I had caught like a 5-pounder last year in the Derby. I don't want to say where, but Evan Hippie Gibbs was like, I can't believe how shallow that fish was. It probably was barely deep enough for him to even be in there
Yeah.
without his fins popping up.
That's the
outside
crazy.
water.
That's the craziest
Yeah.
thing about. That's what I like about
Yeah.
fishing here is like when we caught him on Conowingo 2 weeks ago. We were fishing Main Lake. I won't say where Main Lake, but Main Lake, And 2 weeks ago, it
Main
was
Lake.
25-mile-an-hour wind on Conowingo. If anyone's ever been up there when it's 25, it is like I mean, the only thing missing was a Titanic theme song. I'm serious. My bilge pump ran all day. All day.
Wow.
I had shit coming over the front and the back of the boat. You couldn't even go against the wind because the trolling motor was out in the water. And we were catching them in it, up against the bank. I don't even understand how that's a thing. Like, you would have, in my mind, I'm looking at the bank where we're catching these fish, and I'm like, how are these fish even there? With these wakes, they would be banging up in every piece of structure that's there. But they weren't. Like, they were up on it. Like, it was you almost had to pull it off the bank to catch them. Like, it just goes to show you that you might think a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this, like, I think, okay, 3-foot grass is always the best grass, right? I don't want to be fishing grass that's a foot deep. But guess where like, sometimes
catch
you
them a lot
them
of times in a foot deep.
Sometimes, right, in the summer, in July. So you always have to be versatile.
So I'll give up a little bit of juice, and God, I don't know if I want to, but I will. So there's the dude that taught me about bass fishing. We're talking like 1991 or 2. And so I grew up on a river, didn't have bass in it. Grew up fishing and crabbing, didn't have bass. Then I moved out to Galloway Creek on Middle River.
Right.
And the people, the dudes that lived across the street, I became friends with, and they started teaching me about bass fishing. So he's an OG bass fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, hasn't fished for like 15 years or so. And just last week, he hit me up. I actually asked about coming on the show. Like,
yeah.
That
would be cool. That would be
he'll probably come on. I'll get him on. But he was like, dude, do you always fish shallow? I was like, yeah. And he was like, but you never fish offshore? Because, they move offshore and all that. And I'm like, no, believe it or not, you can catch fish shallow all year.
Yeah.
I've caught them shallow in February.
Yep.
And 40, 30 degree water temps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of blew his mind because, it's always like, you got to go offshore, you got to go deep. Nah, not always. I truly 100% believe, well, actually, I don't believe it. I know it. There's fish that stay shallow all year long.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All year long.
Definitely. One of the best
It
days.
took me 20 years to fucking learn that.
One of the best days I've ever had on the bay was January of 2019. We had over 23 pounds fishing in a foot of water.
Right.
In January, 40-degree water temp.
Right.
And we caught like 100 fish. It was the most ridiculous day I've ever had.
It kind of depends on where you're at, too. So, like, if you're on the GP, there's no deep water.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all relative. And that's one of the first things we ever talked about on the show.
Now Susquehanna, Conowingo, above the dam. Now you got deep water. Yes, maybe they're on offshore ledges or something like that. But they will. You can catch them shallow as I don't know what all year long.
Yep.
Actually, if anything, it's easier to catch them shallow in the wintertime than it is right now in this freaking dog days of summer when it's 90 degrees outside. If anything, that's more when they're likely to move offshore.
In this area with this type of fishing, and I'll include Conowingo in this discussion, but I feel like in this area, most of your bigger fish all year long come shallow. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are guys that can go out and catch them deep, but like even on Wingo, we had second lunker the 2 tournaments ago. We caught it shallow.
Right.
It's summer. You know what I mean? And there's plenty of deep water for those fish.
That 4 pounds.
I think it's easier. Yeah. I think it's easier for them to ambush their prey shallow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
On the shoreline.
You hit a little current break,
Mm-hmm.
hide behind a little rock here, shallow, and when they're hungry, they're hungry. You know what I mean? It's a little easier. So if you're like a fish, you're like, let me go out and freaking 30-foot deep water and hide behind this rock. It's a little harder to chase a little bait fish around and catch them than it is in 1 foot of water.
It depends on bait a lot too.
Yeah.
Like we know here, I mean, like you're saying in GP and a lot of the tidal systems here, the bait is everywhere the fish are. They're in the grass. They're in the shallow stuff.
Right.
If the bait's in 8 inches of water, the bass are going to be in 8 inches of water.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Tony, that's kind of really the deal. Find the bait.
Yep.
And they'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think the bait rather hide up shallow. I swear to God, I'm not an offshore fisherman, and I know there's you. So they say for like every fish you catch on the bank, there's like 5 more offshore on structure. But
You know what though?
I'll beat the fuck out of the bank.
I have heard conflicting information on that.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of conflicting information on that, and this actually really brings up a good discussion point. Is right about a year ago when live scope got really, really big.
Right.
Everybody when it started to get down to the local level, the guys that you fish against every Saturday are starting to come up with live scope, right? Those offshore fish are more beat up now than they ever have before.
So that's good.
And that is for us guys that like to beat the bank. It's the best thing ever because especially like with Conlingo, for example, right? If everyone, let's say tomorrow there's 30 boats and 20 of them got live scope, and I know for a fact at least 10 of them probably will.
Right.
Like those guys are going to be out there video gaming all day probably.
Yeah.
I mean, like that eliminates an entire like percentage.
It makes it better for us.
I agree.
If shallow water fishermen, the more people that fishing offshore,
they're just gonna focus offshore all the time.
I agree.
Good.
Now,
Let them all go the fuck out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to be the only one fishing the bank.
That's how it was That's how it was my last tournament at Conlingo.
Yeah.
I got to where I was. I ran south, and I turned around and I'm like,
15
shit,
pounds ain't shit.
there ain't nobody down here. Like when I got to the south end of the lake, I'm like, there ain't nobody.
Good.
Ain't not one motherfucker in any of the tournaments recently won anything even close to 15 fucking pounds.
Right.
It's like
Ain't shit though.
fucking 9 pounds, 8 pounds.
Maybe up on the bay. The
Yeah,
bay's
on
on
the
the
bay.
The Ike tournament was like 20-some pounds, but believe it or not, 16 pounds was in the money.
And the thing of it is
A pound
like,
more than 15
you got to also
was in the
remember
money
that
at the Ike Foundation tournament.
Yeah.
200 boats and 16 pounds was in the money.
April,
so how 15 pounds ain't shit.
pounds ain't shit.
April and May is like world-class bass fishing in this area, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
October.
October's good. November.
Oh, yeah.
November's good. Too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man, don't get me all worked up thinking about the fall bite right now.
Dude, I saved my vacation time for the fall.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
you know where we're going in the fall, right?
Everywhere.
No, we're going up. We're going to Conowingo every freaking weekend. In the
I
fall.
don't know, man. Patrick.
Destroy them in the fall, dude.
Patrick,
The
aka
smallmouth bite in the fall is just fucking insane. Like
Patrick.
you don't know.
Remember
You
last
don't know,
year?
dude. I'll fucking catch
Remember
you.
last year in the fall?
Dude,
Yeah.
Patrick, aka Kevin, which is actually his name, not Patrick. James River. He's been trying to sell me on James River, dude.
I would like to get fish there.
Dude, I do want to travel more, and do a little bit more fishing.
I'm actually going to
Potomac.
We
I hate
do.
the Potomac.
We need to
Matterhorn?
I don't like it.
We need
No,
to get
so-
together with Skylar and actually plan. We'll talk to Rob about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Our East Coast journey.
I am actually going to the Chop Tank Monday with Kevin.
Really?
And we're going to practice because we got the
I-
tournament the next Saturday.
Fished the Nanacoke up there before.
I like
pretty
the
cool.
Nanacoke, yeah.
I like how they. So we should do this at the GP. How they tied like the milk jugs to mark all the freaking landmines, so you can just
Yes.
plane right through without having to worry about hitting anything. They got it all marked.
No,
Yeah.
they don't need to know. If they don't know that.
Dude, they got sturgeons in there. Apparently, like the University of Maryland, like Marshy Hope
Mhm.
off the Nanacoke, or farther up the Nanacoke, University of Maryland like studies like sturgeons or something. They got a whole bunch of them in there.
Really?
I didn't catch one. I caught a couple bass. I had a bag. I had like a bag like Paul yesterday.
Mhm.
I had 3 fish that weighed 2 pounds. But it was a cool river. It really was.
It's different
Yeah.
over there. Like, and
Yeah.
it's. I like those places because it's just different. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
Yeah.
there's really not grass.
what is
There
our
is, but there isn't.
plans? We're gonna go up there and we're gonna fish like the Nanacoke.
The tide seems
fish.
quicker.
It is.
Yeah.
So the further up you go, the more intense the tidal swing is.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, damn, this tide's moving quick as shit.
So basically, what
It's
we
like
were
2 foot low and
Yeah.
I've been fishing an hour.
Yeah.
You know?
so what we've been talking about is on a long weekend, like a Monday to Friday or Friday to Monday rather, we're gonna go down to like the Salisbury Pocomoke area, and we'll just start working our way back, fish a different river
Right.
every day. So maybe like the ones we have it narrowed down to right now is the Pocomoke, the Wicomico, Nanacoke, Chop Tank, Chester, and Sassafras.
Oh, wow.
I didn't say anything.
And no elk though.
No. The reason why I say no elk is
I
because
feel like
you
we
can
can make
go
it
to
to
you can go to the elk anytime.
Straight across
Right.
the flats.
It's right
Straight
there.
across the
Yeah.
flats. Right.
Like
Yeah.
Sassafras, yes, as well, but the Sassafras is also big shit. Like people don't realize how big the Sassafras is. So like, you know, every time I decide to fish the Sass, I just trail over there. I've
Right.
only done that twice. Cool river. Never gone this time of year. I'd like to go this time of year. We should just do that one day. Like, hey, fuck it, let's go to Sassafras.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Like, it's cool. Like, super awesome river.
Like I was saying, so like, what is our plans? We've been discussing this. We haven't made a foolproof plan. We haven't picked a date yet. But Bass and Beer Radio plans to travel to the East Coast for what, like 4 days?
Yeah, it would probably go up there Thursday night, and then after work, when everyone gets off,
Dude,
and
it's
fish Friday.
so it's Friday.
But we wanted to swap.
Let's
We
just-
wanted to go
let's
from
just
like the
jump in our
Chester
trucks
River
and
to
go
the
Lake
River.
Forest.
Like we're gonna fish a different river each day.
We're gonna fish a different river.
No,
each day.
no, hold
Yeah.
on. You're missing the point. It's Friday night, right?
It's Thursday night.
Today is Friday night.
Oh, tonight's Friday night. Yeah, I thought you were talking about when
He's
we were
saying
gonna
get
go.
in the truck and go. Let's go.
It's bass and extra beer. But let's just jump in our trucks and go to like let's drive to Okeechobee or something. I'm down.
Let's
go.
drive to Okeechobee.
Why not?
Is that what's that like a 2-hour drive?
No, it's like
Hey, I was only like 2 hours.
wait a
Dude,
minute.
I'm telling
This
you
Joe
right
Biden
now.
gas might stifle me from
I
being
might
able
not
to
be
do
going
that.
to
Dude,
Florida.
that's the thing though. Hold on. If we make the journey all in one vehicle and we like now I get 3 people on a boat can be tight at times. But if we make the journey in one vehicle with one boat and we all pitch in, we can survive the Joe Biden economy.
How far is the James River?
The James, 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Well, let's do
The
the,
same
do
as
the
the
freaking
Pocomoke.
St. Lawrence
Yeah.
River.
So,
So-
Let's go fish the St. Lawrence River. Let's go up to
Did I-
New York.
too late for
Let's
this.
head up
Yes,
a-
we should do that next year.
Let's hit up our boy Nathan.
They're getting
We should
ready.
do that.
Let's head up.
Actually,
Nathan. Go up there,
you
chase
gotta
some
get
smallmouth
on
with Nathan.
the guy Joe Bait, the Indian reservation is the way to go. You get a guide.
I don't need no guide. I'm a man.
But
I don't need instructions.
there's restrictions or places where you can fish because there's an Indian reservation.
On the St. Lawrence River?
Yes.
Are they gonna like shoot bow and arrows at us if we get too close?
No. You just can't fish the good spots.
Yeah, right.
But so I believe I can't remember his name, but it's Guy Joe Bates. Forgive me if I'm messing this information up. But like say like for example, so Travis Manson guides up there.
Mm-hmm.
And like when Hank Parker's been up there, Roland Martin, they all go up there to the same place and take a guide out. And it's usually Travis, of course.
Right.
On this certain area of St. Lawrence. But yeah, dude, they had like let's catch 100 fish in an hour and did it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
So
crazy.
like if you really want to do it, like we just need to be like
I went up
hey,
there
Dude, I don't think I can
It's pretty
unhook
incredible.
fish fast enough to do it. I mean, dude, we had
that's what
we had
the
a couple
problem
100
is.
fish days last year. I'm not
We
going to
did.
talk about where, but we had a
We
couple
did.
100 fish days last
100
year.
smallmouth.
And like I swear to God, like you just couldn't get the fish off the hook fast enough.
Dude,
to
that was
throw
their
it back in
problem.
there, dude.
They was like, I can't unhook them fast enough. That's how they were
Yeah.
catching them, dude.
Yeah.
And they were catching like 5-6 pound smallmouth, dude. Like it was nothing.
Chad
Oh
missed
my
one that
God.
might have been over 5 last year.
Yeah. What I want kind of window?
Yeah.
That was
Dude,
rough. That was rough.
my
Dude, I was
BB
throwing on this
smallmouth is like 3
ultra-
pounds.
Dude, I was on
Yeah.
this ultra soft spinning rod, and I was like, and I like hooked into this fish.
I thought it
And
was
dude,
snagged.
dude,
I'm like,
this fish took off, dude. I thought I snagged a log, dude. This fish just took off. My rod almost broke in half, and like, dude, I'm just freaking. I'm wheeling this thing in. I like turned my freaking I turned down on my my drag on the spinning rod,
Right.
and I'm freaking trying to horse this thing in, dude. And no matter how tight I freaking make my drag, this fish is just pulling out drag. And I'm like, oh my God.
This thing jumped out of the water, and when it landed in the water, it sounded like you threw a brick in there.
Dude,
It was
I believe
It was a very
I
sad
believe it was
moment in
Hippie
my
Gibbs told me yesterday. He was like, dude, we took somebody out bow fishing for stingrays,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we told him, like, dude, you got to hold on to the bow if you shoot one. He's like, shot it, bow straight out of the sand.
Shoot him with
Oh,
this
yeah,
Shoot him.
Totally not ready for it.
Shoot
There goes your bow. Yeah, shoot him, right?
$300 mistake, if
Hey,
not more.
yeah, 15 pounds ain't shit. motherfucker.
But yeah, I'm excited to get on some striped.
15 pounds ain't shit, and hey, sell me one of those vixens you got.
Hey, how about them?
Later.
What's what we'll call them, Chad?
I
Striped
have to
bass.
bury the mission here.
We're gonna start calling them, since smallmouth had the vertical stripes. That's the new striped bass.
What's a new striped bass?
Smallmouth, because it's got stripes on them. Vertical stripes.
Dude, I swear to
No one
God,
saw the smallmouth like that.
after we did that, the one episode, so like I launched a boat and I'm out on the river, and this dude's like, "Hey, Rob, riverboat Rob, give me a vixen." I said, "I'm all out." Dude.
I can't talk about that shit.
Right, I can't talk about it.
Man, here at Bassman Radio, we're all about bringing you guys the juice.
Look, dude, I'm
talking
giving
about
it.
bringing
I
you
don't
guys
know
the
how,
juice.
but
Hey, speaking of juice, should we
OG?
show them? Do you have
Look,
the UMA Lure
For real,
videos?
if you guys
on
are watching right now, dude, we got a couple people that really hook us up. We got some serious juice for you guys. Number one, Rob just won a tournament on. Now we got a couple people watching. Rob won the tournament on the Bass Munitions lures,
Bass
Holston
Munitions.
worm.
drop shot in it. Drop shot in
Drop
it. dude.
shot in this thing,
Yeah.
took second place, and this worm is a nice, deadly finesse worm.
That was the first time you
You
guys
can
ever
freaking-
fished it too, right?
Yeah, man, first time they ever fished it. Second place. in
I
the
actually
tournament.
brung, so I'm not a drop shotter. I got to give all the props to Hippie
To
Gibbs.
Hippie Gibbs.
He smashed them. He's a drop shotter. He's a finesse guy. I had 2 packs in my pocket. Even showed Craig here. Showed Craig and Travis here. Showed Chad like, dude, look, I brought 2 packs for Evan. Evan
Everyone went out and smacked them on.
smacked them on.
So
Dude.
we got those.
I'll
and
tell
then,
you the secret. I give up a little bit of juice. They were on the edges, grass edges.
mhm.
About the best I can give up. So.
And we got these from Bass Munitions. We got the Holston worm, and then another freaking huge, big juice item we got. That it's hard to use it right now because we have so much grass in the area that we really like to fish.
And
But
slime.
dude, we got the freaking UMA lures. UMALureCo.com. We got their freaking crankbaits.
Do we have the
Custom
video of that?
balsa wood crankbaits. Let me tell you right now, it says deflection at its
No.
finest. Oh no,
No,
we're gonna
don't
give
tell
them the
them.
juice.
Don't tell them.
We're giving them the juice. It says deflection at its finest, and it is deflection at its
Nah,
finest.
they don't work.
I played this video last week, but we're gonna play it again because this is just a fantastic crankbait. You got custom paint. You got to get in contact with Tyler. Foil wrapped, balsa wood, wooden. They don't have plastic bills. They have the freaking like the carbon fibery, like a
It's high
bill that's
quality
going on.
bait.
It's a
Circuit,
high
circuit board.
quality bait. One of the best deflective crankbaits I've ever thrown in my whole life, and I will like attest to that as I put a little bit of time on these crankbaits now. But check this out.
They don't work. Ow.
These,
No.
dude, bro.
No.
Rob only owns half.
So,
the freaking-
I'm telling you guys right now, like we were out there and we submerged a couple steel tables in the pool, and we were just the whole
we tried
time.
to get them stuck the whole time.
We tried getting them
Oh,
stuck
they'll
the
get
entire time.
snagged,
We were
but
probably out there for
they'll-
1 hour hitting this freaking pile
I
of
would
steel
tell you this.
rubble under there, and those crankbaits did not get stuck
But
one time.
they definitely do not catch fish. Don't throw them. Don't throw them. Leave them alone. Go get something else.
UMALureCo.com.
Wow.
Link right down here in the bottom corner. Check that shit out.
You gotta give up.
Go
everything,
there,
man.
check that out. It's all there. And then you got the Holston worm. We got the link there for you guys too. Whoa, hey, gentle.
You know what it's time to do, Chad? We definitely need to make sure we get some good footage of the Warren Taylor lures
Best
frogs.
Munitions lures. We also got somebody who does. We got a freaking, and we were throwing them yesterday too. Unfortunately, we didn't have as much luck.
Did you throw?
I did not.
That's where you messed up.
I know. I did
So?
not. The other place I met
It's
is
too much
like
juice. I don't really
I
want
had
to say
the
that.
can-
Never mind.
I just-
Never mind.
the
So I
bite
talk
wasn't
too much.
the bite wasn't there for me, but another person that hooked us up that really takes care of us and we love to support is Taylor Lures. I don't think Taylor. I haven't looked. I don't think Taylor Lures has an actual website, but go to Taylor Lures on Instagram, Taylor Lures on Facebook. Dude makes some really unique frogs, all types of different colors, different designs. They have, some of them are kind of like they have the metal blades on the end,
We may throw
different colored tails.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
What's the
we
frog
throw
you
them
gave me yesterday?
Oh, those are the Taylor Lures frogs, bro.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Sweet
Unfortunately, it was not a. So I know a lot of people were frogging yesterday, and
Yeah.
I know people call them a frog. Frog bite was not on for me.
It wasn't everything yesterday.
I rarely cannot catch fish from a frog this time of year. It really doesn't matter what the conditions are. I rarely don't catch them. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just confidence or cadence or something. But
I'm pretty good at frogging. I have a lot of
yeah,
confidence in it, but yesterday was just not happening for me.
I don't know because we ended up near each other. At the
Right,
end of the day.
yeah.
Did you see how aggressive I worked that frog?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You was frogging.
I'm like, freaking rocking and rolling with that thing.
I'm pretty
No
good at
matter
frogger. I won some derbies on a frog.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday the frog bite was just not.
No matter what, at the end of the day, we got the Taylor Lures frog tied on.
Oh no, I tried
Because
it.
that baby is a freaking fantastic
Well-
frog. Comes with sharp hooks, small profile, very, very edible. We love the frog.
I'm not saying it was the frog. The frog
It was the worm yesterday.
but
The
it's
old
just the
Holstein
frog
worm.
bite. The frog bite just wasn't on for me yesterday.
Bass Munitions.
I wanted to catch them on it. I threw both of them. Both of the ones you gave
Yeah.
me.
Two
I
different
can-
styles.
I
two
threw a
different
swamp
styles.
frog.
That's
I threw a
four,
swamp
too.
donkey. Couldn't get a bite on a frog, dude. Just couldn't yesterday. I know some people did, but I think they were catching small ones on the frog
Mhm.
yesterday. Just wasn't a frog bite. Well, nothing with the frog. The frog was kind of dope, actually. The one that you should, so you gave me two. The one that you gave me, the color pattern was awesome. I wish I had it on me. I think it's actually on Evan's boat right now. Was awesome, but I couldn't get a frog bite yesterday, dude. I tried. That's what happened for me.
Yeah.
It
It happens, man. It absolutely happens, but it is what it
But-
is.
but
You know what I mean?
dude,
15 pounds ain't shit.
you know what?
No, it's not. You catch 15 pounds,
Oh,
you might as well
yeah.
not even show up the next day.
I'm catching 15 pounds of weighing the shit in and say, suck my balls.
So what do you look for, Rob? I guess we're still talking about frogs here, but what do you really like in a frog? Like you pick up a frog in the store. Let's say it's a company you've never heard of.
Right.
What catches your eye? Do you and then the next question is: do you trim your frogs? Do you alter them? Are you out of the pack, throw it type of guy?
So I do not even it's very rare if I walk a frog. I pop a frog all the time.
So you don't you only have popping frogs.
I have walking frogs and I will walk them sometimes, but I'm more like 90% of the time I pop my frogs.
I'm the same way.
And I look for when you have that heavy grass,
Mm-hmm.
I look for those open pockets.
Okay, yeah.
And like even when it's real thick, I'll pop it real quick till I get to that
Right.
open pocket in the
You're
grass.
gonna sit for a little bit. Or,
Yeah, I may even with a popping frog, you can walk it.
Right.
So once I get to that open pocket, then I might start walking it or whatnot. And then I like dark colors. I like it's kind of juice. I like a snakehead pattern frog.
Really?
I like a frog that
I've
kind
never
of
heard that.
same color as a snakehead.
No shit. I've
I
never heard
have
that.
some walking baits that resemble
Really?
a snake.
Yeah,
That's very interesting.
And you seems like you catch more bass on that than you do snakeheads.
So
Got some
wow,
juice.
I'm gonna try that.
And of course, I like an orange or red mouth one.
See, I like. Not a lot of people throw it. I know Paul does because me and him have talked about it before. But most of the frogs I throw are red.
I do not throw a red frog.
Try it.
I
Really?
throw
As red can get.
brownish black.
Red. You look at my frog box, 90% of them are red.
Hey, what's up, Paul?
You look at my frog box, 90% of them are black.
See, I'm not.
And I feel like I'm giving away juice on that.
What's your favorite frog?
I don't think so.
No, you're not giving away a lot of juice. I just said I throw ones that try to imitate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but my favorite frog personally is the jackal Caera. That's
Not the
that's
Da Vinci. What is it?
not the jackal Gavacho,
Gavacho.
but I like the jackal Caera a lot. It's a half ounce.
Paul said
It's
red
a half
frog is
ounce,
funny.
very compact.
Yeah, you gotta
frog,
try that.
but it is very soft, and it's an expensive frog, and you might get maybe 2 fish out of it before it's got a hole in it. I'll say it.
Yeah,
Dude, it is not.
doing
It
that.
is a very delicate frog. The hooks are great on it. The hookup ratio on it is insane.
Spro, dude.
It's just you
I'm gonna
have to
disagree with you on
replace
that.
the
You
frog.
don't like the
I'll let
Spro
you say
frog?
your point, and then I'll tell you why.
You don't like the Spro frog?
The bonsai.
Hate
You like the Spro frog?
in caps, and I'll tell you
Really?
why after you make your point.
I don't have a point. I just
Okay.
like the frog. I catch them on it.
I hate that frog, and you know why I
Really?
hate the frog? Because
Black
The-
frogs only.
the
Black
the,
frogs matter.
the rubber. God. The
Black dogs.
Yeah.
the rubber on the Spro frog is more coarse and more hard. It's harder.
So
I miss
harder to hook them.
so many frogs, so many fish. And here's what happened, right? Black Lake, New York, 2 years ago.
Right.
For those of you who've never fished Black Lake, imagine the upper bay but a lake. The whole lake, for all intents and purposes, is 5 foot deep, grass everywhere. There's pike, there's bass. It's literally Mark Zona used to go fish it.
Oh hell no.
Mark Zona used to go film frog videos at Black Lake in the summer, right?
Right.
It's
hell
it's
yes.
the frog place to go in the north.
Right.
We got there the first day. I'm filming a white Spro frog, white and red, right?
Okay.
Blow ups left and right. I can't hook them at all.
Well, okay.
I immediately was, and then the same thing happened on the St. Lawrence like 3 days later, and I'll get to that.
All right.
Took the frog off, put the Terminator on.
Okay.
White ratio went up like 80%.
Terminator is.
Terminator, so that Terminator is my favorite frog, hands down. If I'm throwing a frog, I'm sorry.
Terminator is.
No. Terminator's owned by Rapala. They also make
Rapala.
the jigs
Okay.
and the
Right.
spinnerbaits.
Yeah. Okay, got you. Rapala, Rapala, whatever you want to say.
Terminator frogs, if you haven't tried them, I highly recommend them. I love them.
Yeah.
Hookup ratio is
It's a good frog.
really good. But so let's fast forward 3 or 4 days. We went to the St. Lawrence River. Now, for this, the St. Lawrence River gets all the notoriety for the smallmouth.
Right.
Now,
There is a largemouth bite too,
There's
though,
a
right?
great-
Shallow.
great largemouth bite
Yeah.
because the grass grows early because it's so used to being cold up there.
Like back in the coves and stuff, right?
In the creeks, coves, whatever.
Right.
But it was topped out, kind of like yesterday where we were.
Right.
And that was this time of year. And I got up there. I actually made a point to put the Spro frog back on because I was like, I need to catch fish on this frog because I can't catch them on it. Same thing. Blow-ups. Nothing. Blow-ups, nothing. Blow-ups, nothing. Put basically the same color frog on Terminator, started whacking them.
Really?
Now, is there something I could have done? Now, I've heard of people boiling the frogs to soften up the rubber.
I don't
But like
about
me,
that.
anything
Were they
I-
not committing to it, or they were eating it and you just couldn't?
I'm talking, but at the time I took that frog off and put the Terminator frog on, within a 30-minute window, I had 3 fish.
Right, but what I'm saying with Spro frog is they ate it and you just couldn't hook up because
Yes, they ate it.
I
I
ain't
would,
had that problem, dude. Honestly.
I will not buy them. And the reason for that is, and it's because of those 2 instances where it was such a, I'm not saying they don't catch it, but it was such a drastic, for me, like, it was frustrating because I would
It's a
see these
confidence
fish.
thing per normal.
Like,
But
I
you
was
have
seeing
confidence in it.
5-pounders come out of the water.
But like
on
what
Black
Tony's
Lake.
saying that, so when a bass or a snakehead eats a frog, there's a delay time.
Yeah,
Sure.
Paul
You gotta set
Batter.
the hook.
Paul Batter says Tony sucks at frog fishing. Which is true. Tony doesn't know what he's doing.
Paul caught
Especially now with the frog.
Paul caught 2 fish for a half a pound yesterday. So
that was his wife. Bro.
Oh, his wife caught those. No, Paul's wife was out. She caught all the fish. Then I saw her. She was like, "I'm taking a break." She's on her phone. Paul's
Well, she had already caught too. She
right. She don't know how to fish, but Paul's like, trying to cast. Like, I ain't going. Kind of how I felt with Evan yesterday, dude.
Nah, just that freaking Holstein worm, bro.
I definitely won a derby last year on Spro Frog.
Hey, I think for my, and especially when it comes to a popping frog, I feel like a walking frog I'm more open, but like a popping frog, it's like.
What's that lunker hunt walking frog?
Trash.
Yeah, I don't like them. They're too light.
I actually like it, but I don't know what it's called.
Lunker hunt is
not the pad crasher.
I know.
It's not the pad crasher. That's a kick and tail.
Hey, look, fancy pants. We no, the lunker hunt frog is decent.
I've caught fish on it. I've caught a lot of fish.
Yeah, I forget what the hell it's called. Maybe I'm wrong. It might not be lunker hunt because I'm serious. I'm a Spro frog. When it comes to frogging, I throw Spro.
The first day I'd ever actually caught fish on a frog was on the flats about 3 or 4 years ago. Me and Travis and my
or
friend
this.
went out. So that one makes me think of a lot of things that
somebody's going to be real happy when that shows up at their doorstep.
Yeah.
You know what a lot of people overlook nowadays because it's old school is the scum frog.
Yes.
Nobody
It's
really.
bad.
I'm on board with Paul Batters.
I love
Paul Batters has the Booyah Pad Crasher.
That's it.
Straight up classic, bro.
Thank you.
That is a fantastic.
Yeah, the pad crasher's good.
The Pad
That's what
Crasher
I
is
was talking about.
Yep.
The Booyah Pad Crasher. My bad. I said lunker hunt.
The
I was
Booyah
wrong.
Pad
The Pad
Crasher.
Crasher is what I was
that-
talking about.
Which strike king?
White and black. It
With
might
the-
be straight
Is
king.
Booyah?
No, it's Booyah.
Booyah's
Booyah.
Booyah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
right.
okay, I'm sorry.
They're owned by like a greater tackle company, but it's not strike.
Their freaking buzzbait is off.
Yeah,
The buzzbait
their
is
spinnerbaits
fucking
are
good. You can buy it at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking buzzbait.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're good buzzbaits.
Yeah, it was the Booyah
I haven't
Pad
utilized a
Crasher.
buzzbait yet this year. Have you guys been throwing a buzzbait any?
I threw one a little bit yesterday over top the grass.
I don't think I've caught
Nothing.
any on it yet.
Nothing.
I've had a couple hits on it, but I haven't had any commit to it yet. But
So once we get off the air, we're definitely going to have to talk about what
So
we're
we
gonna tie
gotta
up for.
real
I know.
quick. I gotta say, what's
I don't
up,
know.
I might have
Dan?
like 3 rods.
I mean, I'm definitely, obviously, I'm putting a freaking net rig on.
What's up, Dan? Brian?
So I guess we can
Paul.
talk about it now, but tomorrow for Up Above the
Can't
Dam,
see who else is on.
I
but
will have a
Thank
frog
you all
one.
for
I'm
watching.
throwing a popper.
Yes.
I'm throwing a frog.
The Pop Max?
I'm tying up a net rig.
Pop R.
Oh, straight up original
Maybe.
Rebel.
So there's
Pop
4
R.
right there. You got popper and frog, 2 options. I'm going to have a drop shot with the Holston worm. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have a net
buzzbait's
rig.
been off this year.
And
They're not
Um,
committing to it right now.
Yeah, it's been no buzzbait bite.
But yeah, for me tomorrow, it's going to be a pop R. It's
Oh,
going to be a jig.
Dan.
It's actually going to be like 3 rods, each with a different jig on
Are
it.
you familiar with the Pop Max?
Am I familiar with the Pop Mix? Yes, I'm familiar with the Pop Mix.
Yeah.
Listen, he don't even know about the freaking weekend.
Hey, you know what? Does anybody around here ever throw a prop bait?
Hi, Marie.
Devil's horse.
Love you. Yeah,
I have a
Dude,
Shut up.
prop bait
that's like a big
what?
Florida thing.
I know,
Like, but
but
I've
it
always wanted to get them.
imitates a needlefish. And we
Really?
have, yeah, that's what the devil horse is to imitate a needlefish.
That's a great bait. Old school, dude.
But the devil horse, and then so I give up this cheese because I don't really do it much anymore. But devil horse and a yellow perch pattern.
I have one of those. In the
Go up. That's all I'm gonna say.
So
That's all I can say.
So the thing about
Yeah, that's all I can say.
how I learned about it was researching for Florida when I went this year, and everyone's like Devil's Horse, Devil's Horse, Devil's Horse.
It's like the main bait.
And I looked at it and I was like, there's no reason why this wouldn't work here. But I feel like you can't use it in the spring here.
You ever go?
That's how I found about
You ever
swim baits in the
go up?
California Delta.
Look, I won't say too much, but you ever go up and see those needlefish swimming around?
Yeah.
Oh, I see them all the time.
That's what it imitates.
Really?
Yes.
That is a great idea.
It's a needlefish imitation.
I like
So,
it because of the subtlety of
If you go up there, I'm not going to say where, and
You
you
talking
wet
about
those
like a
needle fish
spy
on.
bait with the prop one? Or are you
No,
talking
it's a
about like
top water bait.
A devil
like a
horse.
fucking whopper plopper?
No, it's a Smith Wick. I think it's
Yeah,
Smith Wick. Devil's Horse.
Cotton
Been
makes
around
one as
for
well.
years.
Cotton Cordell
They
makes
got
one.
the
Right.
freaking little metal blades.
Nah, it's about yay long. Has a prop on the front and on the back. You throw it out there and you
Yeah.
twitch it like
Like
you
a
do a
pop
bar.
bar. You don't even walk the dog. Instead of it making like a pop, it just the blade spin is like real thick, real soft. Like imagine if you threw a whopper plopper out and fish it like a pop bar, but with less noise. That's essentially what it is.
Hey Marie, love you. Evan, Hippie Gibbons on. What's
Hippie
up?
Gibbs.
Paul Batters. I can't see who else is on, but welcome.
Chloe's on.
Chloe. Who
Chloe
else
the
we
dog.
Chloe the dog is on.
got? Oh, what the hell is that, dude?
I don't know, something happened.
But
FBI attacking our podcast is too fucking dope.
yeah, I haven't. I did try to throw the Devil's Horse a couple weeks ago.
You got
Can't throw it on braid. Cannot do it. Shut up! Shut up! I might try it tomorrow. If you're gonna go at the pop war, I might try that thing. Honestly,
The Mega Bass popper, the Pop Max, in a secret gill color, I had phenomenal days in clear water. Secret gill, Mega Bass, Pop Max. So,
yeah.
Why are you giving away like the most fire color like in the whole lineup, bro?
because that's what we're here. We're here to try to help people catch fish.
Do the secret gill color. It's like,
I haven't thrown it in a while, but it catches.
it's like, bro, you put the secret gill up on like the altar. Like, that is the thing.
It smashes them. Dude.
Secret gill is definitely
Right
anything that
time,
I'm
right
telling
conditions,
you,
right
like,
time. So the whole thing with our fishing here in this region and tidal water fishing, it's right tide, right place,
Yeah.
right color.
Yep.
It all has to combine anyways. So it's not always about what lure you're throwing.
Right.
Sometimes it really is just the right conditions, the right place at the right time.
We all have our baits that we're confident in that we
Yeah.
like throwing.
Right.
No
Yeah.
doubt about it.
Well,
So, but there's one thing I did want to talk about tonight because I did put it in the description, and I don't think we definitively actually talked about it. So I want to talk about this.
Okay.
So it applies to different areas more than like other areas, but like we're going to talk about tide right now. Is
Okay.
tide the absolute most important factor when it comes to fishing?
No.
in a tidal river,
No.
I would say yes.
I think so.
No. I think not.
It says, what we
Well,
talked about tonight.
hold on. Here's the thing.
Is
So-
tide the absolute largest factor in a bite?
So here's the
That's
thing.
something I really want to cover and talk about. before we
So
get
Tony
out.
may be right, not 100%, but
Paul
Is it more-
says yes. Dan
Here-
says yes.
here-
What's up, Lou? Lou's on here.
here's the thing, right? So here's the thing. You can be around fish at the wrong tide and not catch them.
Sure.
And you could be not around fish on the right tide and not catch them. So it's a matter of being around fish at the right tide. But if you don't have the right tide kind of is everything, because if you don't have the right tide,
I think it matters.
they're not going to bite.
I think it matters more this time of year.
I mean,
This time of year, it matters.
maybe
a lot.
if you have a little wind and some current moving, it might not matter as much. But
I think weather's the biggest thing.
yeah,
I
but
did. So I will say yesterday. I don't know.
I would
about you
say
guys,
yes.
Yesterday, for me, when I fished, that's
Oh,
perfect. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
I'll try it. Yeah, I'll try it out.
I think we got a couple comments. Let me just-
If you I gotta say yes. I gotta say yes.
So I think Paul really hits it here. Is you can catch fish at any tide, but the tide.
Slack
the
tide
position
is the
of the
hardest tide to catch fish
So the
in.
answer, Paul.
Slack tide is a bitch. I don't like fishing slack
Well,
tide.
to your point, and answer, Paul, you can catch them on any tide, right? Can you catch them on slack tide?
I can.
Yes, you can.
I've caught just as many on slack.
I think it's
Really?
harder. I think it's way harder to
Look,
catch them on slack
If I
tide.
get up in the morning, right? I'm gonna go fishing in the morning. I get up in the morning, I check the tide charts, and the slack, I'm making me a breakfast sandwich
Now,
and waiting. I'm going later.
Am I aware of the
Right,
tide? Sure.
Right.
How many times have you and I been out fishing when we ain't catching shit? right?
And then the tide turns.
And then the tide turns, and we still don't catch shit.
Yeah, but
The
I
last
have
time
no
we went to the
confidence.
pond-
I mean, dude, I just
Tide.
want to say, dude, but the pond at this current, dude, last time me and
Right.
you fished together at the pond, we
This
couldn't
is a
wrap
hot topic. First of all, we might want to do a whole episode on that.
On tide.
I really don't think
Yeah.
it's as big of a. I think it's a big deal. I do.
It
It's a
is.
big deal. Is it the most important? No. In my opinion, no. And the reason for that is because if I'm gonna go fishing whatever based on the conditions of the day.
Right.
Wind, sunlight, temperature has nothing to do with the tide.
Right.
I'm aware
I agree with
I'm
that.
very aware of the tide. Like Paul says, if it's high tide, I'm gonna fish different spots.
Right.
We got Greg Hall watching too. What's up, Greg?
Let's see what Greg. Hey, Greg, what is tide the most important thing? Paul,
I think-
Dan,
I really
everybody,
do.
it's
I
all on
think-
the serious
Dude, the one
comments.
thing
'Cause
I'll say that I
this
noticed.
is a very good discussion because
Yeah.
we all fish tidal water.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this: how many times have you guys caught fish in last light, and first thing in the morning on a slack tide?
Never.
You have, you just aren't aware.
Dude, slack
Maybe,
tide,
maybe.
I'm telling
maybe,
you.
dude.
maybe.
Like,
I think
dude,
time of day matters more than anything. Like
See,
there's the last
Oh.
6 or 7 tournaments I fished
Right.
this year, I've caught fish regardless of time, either first thing in the morning
Really?
or last thing in.
Dude,
oh,
but
absolutely.
dude, you got to think it's relevant too. At the same time, we're gonna go up to Conowingo tomorrow.
Right.
If they're not flowing any water in Conowingo tomorrow, the bite is gonna be dead.
so I can
Sure.
see.
Probably.
So I can see fish biting on slack tide if you got some
It's
current
not
and you got
tidal,
some
but
wind.
it's man-made
Right.
movement of water, and that
Right.
movement of the water is what pushes bait fish,
I
makes bait
personally,
fish move
I
around.
personally believe it's all about the tide.
And dude, I will say,
I think you should
Dan
be
makes
aware of the
Dan makes a good point. I will say, I think barometric pressure also
That's
plays.
Yeah.
in some stuff.
That's Tony's
I'm
point.
a-
I don't
I'm a
think
big
it's.
weather
I don't
guy.
think it's the
Big
biggest
weather.
point. I don't think it's the biggest point, but I think tide plays a huge
I'm a
play.
big
Like,
weather
You know what? It may be for me that I just have more confidence when there's a outgoing. So I'm an outgoing tide guy.
See,
I like the outgoing.
I
I'm
like
an-
outgoing tide.
I'm an
outgoing.
incoming tide.
Right.
I'm an
So I
incoming
think
tide.
maybe it's just I have confidence in
I fish
outgoing
better.
tide.
I fish
I don't
better at
know.
like.
But I'm serious. If I check my tide chart, say I'm up at 5:00 in the morning, and it's like, oh, it's slack tide right now. I'm not going out
I'm
until
done.
6.
I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
catching first light.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait till 6. They're not gonna bite anyways. I truly believe that. That's just me, though. I could be wrong, and maybe you.
I would challenge. I would challenge you guys the next time you want to go
To
out
try
early
to
in the
see-
morning.
Right?
Just go no matter what and see what happens.
So but you're talking about tidal river now, not a lake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Look, at the end of the day, a bass is a bass is a bass. Whether it's tidal or non-tidal or river, Conowingo, Smith Mountain Lake, whatever. Like it is just in my opinion, it's a fact.
I gotta see the comments now because this gets
I
too
just,
good.
bro.
I actually would love this episode if I was home
I
watching
just,
it.
bro, like I just disagree with that. Like a bass is a bass is a bass. I totally agree with, but I think it is just factual that when it is slack tide, fish aren't doing as much, and as soon as that tide turns around,
I
as soon
agree
as
with
it's
that.
either outgoing or incoming, the percentage of fish
No, I
that
agree.
that
I will-
move, they position themselves, that chase bait fish. A lot of it has to do with maybe not bass positioning themselves. Bass do position themselves. It also has a lot to do with pushing bait.
So this is personal opinion, but I truly 100% believe that tidal water bass feed by the tide.
Yeah,
When when you hit that right perfect tide window, and like this is their day, it's dinner time by the tide, not by time of day. I could be wrong.
I
Don't
view
get me
the-
wrong. This is my
dude.
opinion.
I mean, dude, time of
You
day
know,
has a lot to do with it too.
So I always thought, like, you go out in the morning, it's good top water bite. Go out in the
Sure.
evening, good
Always.
top water bite. Which now you got me thinking differently because I'm kind of like, yeah, that is kind of true. But I always thought in tidal water like that don't matter. It's like it's all about the
Makes a
tide.
huge difference.
But I do kind of like
I view the tide as an enhancer, and what I mean by that
I get
is
yeah.
I feel like
I can understand
I
that.
feel like if you go out, like if we go out, I'll go out tomorrow. Let's say we're all going to go to Jocktown, and it's 95 degrees and sunny. It's probably going to be a tough day.
They're not gonna bite.
I don't think
right.
the tide is
Yeah.
going to make the fish eat.
Right.
However, I think if you go out and it's a good day, you got a little bit of chop, just enough to break up the silhouette of your bait.
Right.
It's overcast. It's stable weather in upper 70s or maybe low 80s.
Yeah.
Will you catch them better in a tide? Sure. However, the tide, I feel like the tide is like a multiplier.
I mean, they
But
got to
what happens is
eat eventually, no matter
Listen,
what.
All right, look, I'm gonna patent this shit right now. any given day, I'm telling this is coming together. Any given day, there is a bite factor. Let's say out of
Right.
10, the bite factor is a 5, and the tide is a 2 times manufacturer, right?
Right.
So if the bite factor is a 1 that day, and the tide is good, your bite factor is only a 2.
Right. Okay.
If it's a 7, then you magnify that. That's
It's
how
a
I
8.
see it.
If you got a better tide, it's an 8
Or
still a
14
7.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
But if it's in the morning or in the evening and it's a little cooler, same
Right.
as if you had a good tide.
sure.
Right.
Sure.
I get what you're saying.
I
And
feel like
that may be
it's
very
a
true.
magnifier.
Yeah.
And I think that I will absolutely agree that fish bite better in moving tide. Absolutely.
Right.
However,
Uh.
if it's slack tide first thing in the morning, still throwing top water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to change the way I fish because it's a slack tide.
Right.
Now, there have many days where I've been out and I'll be on fish in an area, catch them on incoming tide. It stops, I don't catch any, and then an hour later I catch them on outgoing tide. I will admit that does happen. However, there have been lots of days, like my last club tournament, I caught fish all day.
I mean,
Paul
that's a
said he don't-
fantastic point by
Right.
Paul Batters.
It is a good point.
Fantastic point.
Paul said he don't pay attention to tides because they don't schedule tournaments around
You
tides.
just got to make something
I think
happen.
you should be absolutely aware of the tides, for sure.
For sure. You got to learn how to play tide.
Right, but you
But-
got to be able to fish through any tide
Any tide.
because you're an
Period.
8-hour derby or whatever.
The last tournament that we fished in the club was not necessarily a spectacular weather day,
Right.
but myself and my co-angler, we didn't go an hour throughout the entire day without catching a fish.
Really?
Not
Right.
one time.
Yeah.
And I know there was at
you
least
fish slacked.
we fished slack first thing in the morning,
Right.
and I had 4 fish by the hour in the tournament, which sucked because you got to keep live all day.
Right.
But that's I like I said, I'm aware of the tide. I view it as a magnifier of the conditions of that day. I feel like if you have a really, really tough day, then when the tide is moving, particularly the changeover, is your bite window.
Maybe I'm just a grumpy old man. I was like, this tide sucks. They ain't gonna fucking bite. Fuck.
Okay, I know why you're going to say that. Though. I know why you're going to say that though, because
Right.
think of if I mean,
I'm blaming on the tide every time when they're not biting.
you don't fish the flats as much as I do.
No, hell no.
And
No, not at all.
the gunpowder is affected by tides so much more
Right.
than the flats to
Right.
where I think what I'm used to is just a little bit less tidal sensitive because I mean, if you got a low tide and a 5-mile-an-hour north wind in the gunpowder, you know what I mean?
Well,
that's a foot of water difference sometimes.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they're not biting, first thing you blame it on. Fucking tide sucks.
Right. See,
Yeah.
I used to, but
I
kinda
do.
don't
I do.
now.
Man.
Dude, yesterday, I'm telling you, yesterday it was all about tide for me.
Weather
I
clarity.
fished all evening,
Right.
the whole 3 hours. I fished the whole time. We didn't get any bites. I
And it
felt
was
like
the tide's fault.
It was,
See?
dude, I felt like so like 8:30 came around yesterday. We and Skylar had no fish at 8:30,
Right. It was the tide's fault.
and
That's what
dude,
I'm
all of a
talking
sudden, so like,
The tide's
well,
fault.
dude, so we're sitting back there fishing, and I'm looking at the grass, and the grass is floating straight up, and it's just matted down, and I'm like, it's not doing anything,
That tide
then-
was moving pretty strong.
dude.
When I got
It was not where I was fishing, bro. I don't know if it's just like
Not where I was
not where I was
fishing.
I don't know if the cut was just blocked by whatever was going on, but bro, I'm telling you, the grass was not moving, nothing was happening, and then all of a sudden, like 8:30 came around, the grass just started picking up because tide was coming in last night at the
What's great?
tournament.
Hey, Greg, what you talking about? You need to fish the
So Greg
And
wasn't. Greg
It was
wasn't
dude,
on
the
we'll explain
turnaround
that
for
in
me
a
and
second.
Skylar. I wish Skylar was watching right now because as soon as tide where we were fishing started moving in, or tide might have been coming in, but as soon as it got strong enough to make a difference in the area that we were in,
I
it
heard,
was 10 minutes. I had my 3 fish
I heard
and
that.
lunker in 10 minutes.
I heard that we don't. Now this is hearsay, but I heard that we don't get a lot of pro tournaments here. Bassmaster. We had a classic here once, and
Right.
they came back one more
At
time. They
least-
were going to come again, but it got canceled. But I
Right.
heard they don't want to come here. because of the tide.
It's
They don't like fishing tide.
a lot of people don't.
That's what I heard.
A lot of guys don't. So a lot of the guys.
Gotcha, Greg.
A lot of the guys I grew up fishing. Well, not grew up.
That's
in
what we plan on
college,
doing. The Eastern Shore
Like-
trip here soon.
Like guys that I talked to in college at Radford, at VMI, at JMU, and stuff. Like these guys, because we had a college tournament on the bay. They were like, "What is happening here?
Yeah, they don't know tidal
What
like
is
that.
the deal?" Like,
But that kind of makes us like really good when it
I think
comes to
so.
fishing tidal rivers.
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of
I-
people don't
like-
have experience with. I mean, in this region, of course, all of us, but most of them grow up
Right.
fishing
Like,
lakes.
think about this, right? Think about how many videos you watch on Wired to Fish.
It's all
Tactical
lakes.
Bassing.
All lakes.
Yeah.
How much of that really applies to what we do?
They're like lakes and like reservoir type shit. Like,
Did you? I fish a lake in Virginia every year called Lake Moomont.
what was
Right.
Lake
Big
Anna
bass
classified
fish
as? A highland
Highland
reservoir?
Yeah,
Right, Highland Reservoir.
right.
It's
Yeah, that's
not
not our
tidal.
thing. We're
I went down
tidal.
to- when
We're
I went-
tidal guys. It is what it is.
When
That's
I
what
went
we are.
down to Lake Moomont
We're,
last
we're
fall,
river rats.
right?
Yeah.
When I went down to Lake Moomont last fall, that big bass grass lake, you would think, right? Guess what they've never heard of down there? A chatterbait.
Excuse
Never heard of
I
a
swear to
chatterbait.
God.
How do you never
Dude,
hear of a chatterbait?
I'm
bro?
telling you, like I'm telling you, like I went down there and I had it titled, and one of the guys who I know, he's like, "What the hell is that?" I'm like, "It's
Really?
with the reel?" He's like, "No, the bait." I'm like, "Dude, it's a chatterbait." He's like, "What's that, like a spinnerbait or something?" I'm like, "Hold on." He wasn't the only one. I'm like, "Are you serious?"
I
Like-
know the freaking Major League Fishing is broadcasted all the way throughout the United States of America.
So they really do not go to that many tidal rivers.
The James is the one.
Right.
The James and
The
the
James
Potomac,
and
the
I
Potomac.
think what's the one in Florida?
California Delta.
No,
It's got to be the Delta.
no, that's on the West Coast. It's the
California.
St. James, and then they come up here
You mean
to
Saint-
James or St. John's.
St.
St.
John's
John's.
in
St.
Florida,
John's
in
River in
Palatka.
Florida.
Yes,
I think that's tidal water.
it is.
And then they got the James River here,
uh-huh.
and
the Potomac.
the
But you
Potomac
usually don't get like
sometimes.
big tournaments,
Right.
But yes,
That may be the only tidal water on the whole tour.
I was surprised
The
when the
rest is
college.
lakes. It's all lakes.
I was surprised when the college series came to the Upper Bay. That was cool. But
Paul was like, "Yeah, California Delta's not in Florida." It's not.
did you say Florida? And I totally just misheard you.
The Delta.
I thought you said
the Delta's
California.
California.
What about the Dundalk Delta? That's
California
The Dundalk
definitely has a
Delta
delta.
is like Bear Creek meets Back River.
You know, there used to be good fishing in Bear Creek.
You know the scat might work in there. Looks like a turd.
You see me laughing right now?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You
There's St. John's.
just take some goose shit off the pier.
Right.
Throw it on a bobber.
The goose shit over.
Right.
We're not talking about that. Y'all shut the fuck up.
That
Oh man.
bait don't catch shit.
I-
Yeah, because it is shit.
You don't
I-
catch them all?
I do.
It's the fucking. It's the
Tell me
you
now,
know, like
dude.
you know, all I'm throwing tomorrow is the freaking Holstein one from Bass Missions. That's what I'm throwing tomorrow.
I do.
Dry
really,
shot.
yeah.
Wacky.
No,
That's
it
That's
was.
it. No,
No,
I
I
gotta
wanna
get a
get-
couple packs to freaking. We gotta get a couple packs to Paul, and we gotta get a couple packs to Greg, and let them put
Are
these
you-
motherfuckers to work.
So I don't want to give up too much, but are you familiar with a Nico rig?
Am I familiar with the Nico?
Yeah.
Enough said.
Who taught you about
Who's-
the Nico?
Enough said. Enough said. Enough said.
Whose boat were you on when we whacked the shit out of them? On that one?
Enough.
What? I don't
Enough
fish.
said.
I don't fish on Rangers, bro.
Enough said, dude. 15 pounds wasn't shit, Tony. No matter we caught 16.
That was
Yeah.
the day too. That was the day too.
But you did. Well, actually, you did see it because there's a video of me missing the 6-pounder that day.
Hey.
That sucked. That was horrible.
6 pounders ain't shit. No, it's not a Senko, Gray. It's not a
Don't you
Senko.
do it.
Not a Senko,
It's
dude.
not a Senko. It's a drop shot. It's technically it's a drop shot worm, but it is very universal.
So, Greg, that's the Bass Munitions Lures Holston ST Little Green Worm. We're gonna put the link in there for you. It's
Yeah, man.
linked right there in the video.
check out go to their website and check out some of the products they offer. These are actually really nice products, and they have a spring sale going on right now for everybody that's watching.
So this is actually, I know you just got on later, Greg, but this is the worm that Evan and Rob got second place on
Yep.
Thursday. So
There it is.
It's
a good one.
you said it 4
Well,
times.
sorry, we had to give away the juice. The freaking UMA Lures.
Damn.
It was
It's
there.
okay. It's okay.
But no, it's
But,
definitely check them out.
Do you remember what the spring giveaway code is? Over
Spring
there for
sale.
Oh,
Spring sale discount code. Spring sale. Bassmunitionslures.com. Check those out.
I gotta ask, Greg. There's bass in Back River for real, dude?
Maybe there was at one point.
No, there never was a bass that could survive in there. Just carp and catfish.
There's snakeheads in there.
See, Greg said there was. Greg said there's bass in there.
Dan, you definitely got to try these down in the South, brother. You will love them. Paul, Greg, you guys got to try a couple of these for some of your finesse purposes. These are fantastic. What's going on, Brian? How's it going, man?
Greg said
And I agree. So like Greg's on the black train. I love using black lures. I love using black Senkos, black frogs, black everything. I just think black has a better contrast. Silhouette and the contrast on the things, and like I really like that. Like a lot of people like white and everything like that. You're gonna catch me throwing a black popper, a black frog, a black worm, a black anything before
No,
a white.
So that's like Martin's Lagoon.
Personally,
that's Middle River.
Right, Martin's Lagoon is Middle River. You got Frogwater Creek. So Middle River.
it can be rigged as a
right?
Senko,
What's
Paul.
that?
You can throw this
Middle
as a
River
finesse
is
Senko.
above Back River.
Right,
Back River's
then
the next
right.
one down.
The next one down.
Yes.
There's bass in Back River.
So there's bass in every river, every single one that goes up and down the bay. That has a little bit of
Not
length to it.
Tapsco. Tapsco's got to be too salty for that. Where
There's
Key
bass.
Bridge at?
Not at the Key Bridge,
Right.
but all right. So like you go
All
through
that
the
little
tunnel,
canals that
Sure, definitely. like Severn River.
He's
there's
got
bass
June
in there.
bug.
Not
He's got all colors you need. He's
I
got all
love
the colors. June bug. We got June bug, don't we?
You
He's
need that
got some
tomorrow.
June bug.
my
June bug's gonna be.
So
on
here's
it.
the thing. Most of the country, green pumpkin is the color go with. In our region, June bug is the color, so stop talking about June bug.
June bug. June bug. Listen, I'll tell you like that. If I
June
can pick
bug
three
is
colors.
Severn has bass.
You're
Really?
gonna get me having a green
Tapsco has
pumpkin with
that.
either a red flake or a black
I ain't
flake,
fishing any of those. I'm heading
A
up north.
June bug? and like a black with a blue or red flake. Those would be my three color
June
choices as far
bug.
as
So
stickers
if
go.
you watch a lot of people that talk about different colors and how color matters, they will say June bug in our region, like the Delmarva region, June bug is the color, dude.
Yeah.
Rest of the country, green pumpkin. I'm a green pumpkin guy.
Yeah.
But June bug is fire.
See,
Yeah.
now Greg just said the bass, the canal next to 895 has bass.
It looks like it looks juicy as hell.
Here's the thing. I'm telling like the Patuxent River has bass
No,
in
no,
it.
everybody's saying the Severn. They're saying the Severn, the Patapsco, all that has bass.
The Magathy River. I have an uncle who lives on the Magathy. He has caught bass.
I can see the Patapsco up when it's more fresher water.
You mean the Pataxco or the Patuxent?
The Patapsco.
Okay.
I can see, upriver it's like fresh water
Sure.
coming down. But once you get down closer to all the factories and all that, like
But
the canals look good. They look good
Here's
down
my
there.
thing.
They
Right?
look good.
If you,
But
so-
I'm not going to fish them anyway. So.
Oh, I'm not either.
Yeah.
I just I was out on the Severn today crabbing, and I was like, man, there's got to be bass in here. Like, this looks awesome.
Somebody said there was bass in the Severn.
So here's my thing about. I feel like bass are more places than you think. Like look at Still Pond Creek, on right below the Sassafras. Not a big creek, but there's bass in it. Right,
Sure.
That's right off the bay.
Yeah.
If you read old literature about the Sassafras, they talk about the biggest spawning creek in the Sassafras was Lloyd's Creek, which is only about a mile from the mouth of the Sass,
Yeah.
which is right off the main span of the bay.
So, me personally, I would like to see Dundee and Middle River come back
It will.
and be what they were at one time.
I mean, yeah, I think they will.
I'd rather head to those than go to the flats with 80 boats on the channel.
Right.
I'd like to see Dundee and Middle River come back. That would be sweet. That would be so
It
sweet.
would be.
Yeah, we could fish all that. First of all, it's easy to run over there. I can run over there in my aluminum boat.
Right.
I can launch at Mariner Point Park and go to Dundee. Then you had Saltpeter,
Mhm.
Seneca, Middle River, Galloway Creek, Galloway Cove, Frog Mortar.
I think
Man,
they're. I think
all
they are.
that
I think they're
comes
coming
back.
back. I
They
think,
are. I hear they are. I hear they're coming back.
I definitely. I mean, I grew up on Saltpeter. I have a family property there.
Right.
And I can tell you in the last 5 years, the amount of grass in Saltpeter has come back exponentially. I've seen bass on beds in Saltpeter. So there are bass spawning there. I think at this point it's a matter of time, and it's just going to depend on, I mean, obviously the
I
jury's
think a
out.
lot has to do with Scott and MR Bass. They're
Yeah.
stocking the river.
That's fantastic. Like
Yeah,
I really
they're
love that
trying
they're
to-
doing that. Like
They're bringing it back.
those bass are
Bringing
going
it
to turn
back.
into in the next 2-3 years. Those bass are going to be 3-pounders, 4-pounders.
Right.
Well,
We're
and
going to
the-
have
and
some
the-
nice healthy. I like that, man. That's great.
And the SQTs, the Maryland Bass Nation running tournaments out of Dundee. Those guys
Right.
are bringing 100 fish back to tournament.
That's
putting
true.
them right in Dundee.
Right.
So I've heard that, I don't know how true it is, but even if you say you catch a bass up on the flats,
Sure.
you're fishing a tournament in Dundee, but you run up to the flats, catch those bass, bring them back. I heard they will go back.
I've actually heard the opposite.
Really?
So I've heard that wherever you release them, they usually will stay. Now
That
this,
makes more sense.
this isn't necessarily
Right.
tidal. I
Right.
think fish move more tidal, but I also think they move in a controlled. I think they move in a controlled like realm. Like they have like a range where they go back and forth in that area.
I'd rather see people from the flats run down. I'd rather see people, run down here and release fish here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, but they
Don't
don't
wanna see
release
people
fish
coming-
here. They take fish.
I
from
say
where
that
we
backwards,
fish
but
to
what
go.
I mean is, I don't want people coming down from the flats, taking them and releasing them back up there.
That's what they do, though.
I know, and that's probably.
But-
And then all anybody ever knows is they'll fish flats. All the big fish are at the flat. You know what? They're really not.
Why you think Duarte makes his way down the freaking the juice?
I'm about to start fishing Dundee.
I think that is true that guys take fish from here and take them back up. I
Right.
think overall there's more fish brought back here because
Hopefully,
like when you talk about
to the
Maryland-
upper bay.
no, from the upper
No,
bay
I'm talking
down
about
to
from
here.
the upper bay to here, like
To where? You mean
Dundee, because all
We-
like the
we
state
have the
farms-
derbies. Everybody runs up there.
Yeah, I
So
can
I
say
think
that.
the pendulum is swinging more of fish brought back than fish taken.
Hopefully,
I think
Hopefully that's true.
I think it is because like the SQTs, like the SQT, right? Let's say they launch out of if the state qualifying trail launches out of Harmony Grace,
right,
30 boats, you might have 4 or 5 guys running Dundee or the Joppatown, whatever.
right.
Right? Most of the field's going to stay up here. Whereas if you have a tournament out of Dundee, 50 or more percent
Running
will
up
run
the
up.
bay, right.
So I think the pendulum is swinging more here. Now in the spring it's a little bit different because everyone knows kind of where the fish are here. But I think the area is getting better. I would say
Yeah.
for sure. Like the amount of 2.5 pounders we caught this spring was pretty awesome.
I disagree with that, Paul. I think there is a shitload of fish that are taken out of the local juice
I think
all
think
the time.
part
Actually,
of the
agree with
problem
Paul on
is
this one.
so part of the problem also is that Dundee and Middle River and Saltpeter and Seneca didn't get as pressured as hard as everywhere else, and the snakeheads kind of thrive more.
That's a good point too.
They thrive more there. Now, if they got
Yeah.
more pressured by the bass fishermen, a lot of those snakeheads would be dead.
Probably.
Right. The snakehead fishermen, they don't, not the ones that hunt them, and not the ones that take them out.
That's
There
true.
are
I agree
people
with
that
that,
want to keep
Paul.
them alive. Yeah,
Yeah,
catch
it's
and release
illegal.
snakeheads.
That's illegal.
No, I mean they catch and release, so you can release it.
You can't travel with
can't
them.
travel
You
with
can't
it.
travel with it.
You can catch and release it though.
Yeah.
And they hate bass fishermen, and they hate bass.
I mean, dude, at this point, I'm willing to recognize that I think snakehead are eating bass fry, and I think bass are eting snakehead fry. I mean, it's
So,
just a freaking
That's to
another
my
fish
point.
in the ecosystem.
That's
at
my
this
point. If we really if we hammered Dundee and all like it used to be, and take out a lot of those snakeheads, bass will probably thrive more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Middle
that's all.
River is way harder to fish than Joppatown.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
way harder. Way harder.
Way harder.
Yeah.
so the other thing too is
But
I know-
it's getting there though. It's getting back.
Well,
So at one
right,
point,
like-
Joppatown was a shit. Middle River, Dundee was a shit back in the
I
day.
mean, you
I'm talking
remember
like the
Aaron
90s,
Martin's wanted out of Middle River, right?
which was totally
Out of left field.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you launched at Dundee and you fished Dundee, Saltpeter, and Seneca, maybe made your way over the Middle River. That was the juice. That was the shit. And it kind of fell off a little bit, but they're bringing it back, and it can be again. even in the wintertime, the power plant down there cooled their engines, and it was warmer water.
Right.
And you can even go in the wintertime and catch them over there. All that kind of just. And now the other thing is, when you go to Dundee, there's 5,000 kayakers.
So that's what I was going to get into. Is I know a lot of people that are big snakehead fishermen out of the kayaks.
It's all kayaks.
A lot of, but here's the thing. Like, actually, I know a guy who launches his kayak at my shore house down in Saltpeter, and he was always sending me pictures of bass that he's catching out in Saltpeter, and they're not little either. Now, I can't go there and catch them regularly, but like this guy goes out and he's like, yeah, I couldn't get away from this, and it's like a 6-pounder. Like, you know, I don't know how many of them there are in there. I know they're there though. Like, they're definitely there. It's just gonna, yeah. Really, what it takes is, and the problem is, you can't go there one time and be like, oh, there ain't shit here. Like, you have to fish
You have
it.
to learn it.
You have to put the time in and go 3-4 trips in a row and just pick it apart and learn the intricacies of that specific area, just like you do with Joppa, just like you do with the flats.
You got and you probably could be a hammer on there.
Yeah.
Right.
If you just put the time.
Could you
I
imagine
agree.
if every tournament you knew you could go to Saltpeter, Dundee, Seneca, or wherever and catch 3 fish competitively every Thursday? That nobody else is going to
And
fish?
Paul, I gotta disagree, dude. I lived on Galloway Cove, and there was a grass bed right behind my house. I used to wade out and catch them every night on top water, dude.
Well, I think he's talking about. I think Paul's talking about the flats.
Oh, on the flats there was no grass. Oh, that probably made. He said
I was
that made
barely
it better.
Me and Teddy were
Paul.
barely
My
even a
bad.
thought to our parents in the 90s, so.
I was bass fishing. It's ridiculous, but hey, you know, I had to shave my head because it's getting so gray.
Is that what you're doing? You could dye that, you know.
Yeah,
You should do one of those like emo cuts.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm in, you know, purgatory. Oh shit! Hey, I'm still high off our win yesterday, dude.
Dude,
Look, Bass and Beer Radio
Bro,
did
Bass
good.
and Beer Radio
Big fish.
did great
Oh,
last
he catch
night,
big
bro.
fish.
We did freaking good. We got big fish. Robin freaking Gibbs. Him
Dude,
Gibbs freaking
dude,
second place.
Dude, we got back, and I was like talking to everybody. I'm like, how'd you do? How'd you do? I told Hippie Gibbs, I was like, dude, I'm gonna have this. He's like, I don't know. Craig caught like a 4-pounder. Like, oh fuck.
Craig got a 4-pounder.
So I'm like, Chad, Charles, what? No, I'm serious. No, but honestly, so I'm like, hey, Chad, what you got, man? He's like, Evan told me you caught like a 4-pounder. He's like, dude, I did. And then I was like, what else you got? He's like, shit, I'm lucky if I got 6 pounds.
Yeah.
So I was like, we still might have it. We got a chance. And then it looked like we had it for a minute. You know, second. I'll take a second. Dude.
I will say, like, not that
Who
it
was
matters,
third?
like it's over with. Nate Brown.
Oh, Nate.
Nate
Hey,
Brown was
congrats,
third.
Nate.
Yeah, congrats
Congrats,
to Nate. I don't know if Nate tunes in. I don't know if Nate's ever tuned in and watched the show, but congrats to Nate. Nate took third.
Yeah.
I will say, it was definitely a tough bite yesterday. It was the deal for me was when in my area the tide started moving and pulling out. They really started.
So you called them later?
8:30 is when
Wow.
I caught my limit within 10 minutes.
I don't think
last
we
night.
caught nothing after 8 o'clock.
8:30, I caught my limit within 10 minutes. Bro, and that goes to show that, like, the area that you're fishing is also another huge, like, definer of where you're at. Like, you guys had fish
We caught one
as soon
early.
as you went out there, like, early when you got out
10
there.
minutes.
Like, after that,
Got one in the boat.
Yeah,
Oh,
I fished-
shit.
I fished for 2.5 hours.
Half
man.
an
That
hour
shit
later, we
last
got a
half an
second
hour.
one.
Boom.
Yeah, it wasn't like the bite was fire. It was like you had to work and you had to pick and you had to dink and dunk and try everything to get a bite. It was tough, dude. It was tough.
It was definitely
I
tough.
heard a lot of people missed a lot of fish. Like I see Greg saying that he missed a good 4. Dorte told me he missed a 5. A lot of people said they got
Paul
a lot of
said it
blowups.
right there, and that's what I was trying to prove. That's how much tide affects the fishing.
Very good point, because we did have a good time.
That last
We had a
year,
good time.
the tide was shit until 8:30.
It was an outgoing tide.
It was great.
See, my few
No, it was
bites-
At a
incoming.
certain
It
point.
was incoming tide.
Yeah.
My bad.
See, my few bites were just.
But we had tide.
Yeah,
We had
it
moving
just-
tide.
It took 10 minutes for me to put my fish in the boat. I fished for 2.5 hours, and it took me the last 10 minutes that I was able to fish to put 3 in the boat, and it landed Walker and 4th place.
But what I'm saying is, it wasn't like we were fishing slack.
No.
Dude,
Right.
I thought it was slack the whole time I was fishing. I was just looking at the grass, and the grass wasn't moving, so it was like, to me, it was slack.
It was, but it wasn't. We had incoming tide yesterday the whole time.
As soon as I saw the grass start to flicker and move, like coming in.
Well, when you got to the never mind. Hey, no, when you got to the mouth of the canals, you could see it. It was moving good. Like tide was moving good.
No, yeah.
And it was. And
When I
moving
rolled up
fast.
over there, it was moving.
Yeah, it was moving
I
really
caught
good.
one right away.
I know Nate. I don't know if Nate's on, but I know Nate was like they caught their fish in the last half an hour or something.
But it
too.
wasn't
They
low
caught like
outgoing.
20
It was
or
low incoming last night.
Right.
Yeah.
Low incoming. I'm sorry. Did I say outgoing? I'm
It
sorry.
was
Incoming.
no. Paul said low outgoing. Last night was low incoming.
It was
I'm telling you,
incoming.
I had no
Yeah.
confidence. I went up the channel to go to the quarry, and it was muddy. Water wasn't up to the reed lines. Like I felt like,
Well, first of
other
all,
than on the right side, there was like no cover. I felt
Water
not
clarity
confident. Water clarity was shit. I
uh,
felt not confident up there, so I went all the way up to the top, went around to the clear water side, came down, and started fishing that grass
dude, we
down on
hit.
that side, and was able to make something happen. Like I said, in the last 10 minutes that I had to fish.
Dude, we hit all our sneaky, juicy spots that we know, and luckily Hippie Gibbs pulled a couple out. But I mean, we caught 4 fish yesterday.
Holston worm.
Caught 4 fish. Yes, we called 1 time. That was it. The bite was not on fire for sure.
I just needed
I
my
seen-
last fish.
So we were in the area that the people that came in first were in. I don't know who they were. I apologize. I don't remember their names. Nice guys. Watching them smash, and they stayed.
What
same
did I
spot.
burn?
I'm not going to tell you where they were, but they stayed.
No, Chad, Paul says that I owe $5 to this popper. Where did I burn?
Hold on, I put my glasses on. Okay. Chad,
I was just
$5.
fishing the grass. There's a lot of grass on the freaking gunpowder. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah,
There's a ton
Chad.
of
It did sound like he was trying to give up some juice, but I didn't know where the fuck.
Then
he
I'm
was
telling you
talking
right now, I'm actually gonna do it. Paul says it.
about. No,
No.
shut up.
Paul says
Here,
it.
Drink this.
Paul says it. I'm gonna take him up on it, dude. I'm
Paul.
gonna get a legit spot burn jar.
No,
We are.
Maybe not.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah, we're gonna do it. Maybe
I
not
thought you was about to
$5
give up a
because
spot.
I mean we might keep it at $5, but we're gonna do like $1 or $5 for the spot burn jar. And when the spot burn jar is full, big giveaway.
You want me to give up a spot?
No.
Good, because I wasn't going to.
Shut up.
Back river.
Yeah, Back River. Apparently they got 10 pounders. In there.
Oh well, I mean,
They got lumps in there. So.
Yeah.
there's only 2 different
been
ways.
eating a lot of
like,
shit.
you know. Actually, 3. That's a lie.
Those bass in Back River be eating like shit.
They love the
They
shit.
love the shit. dude.
Don't talk about the shit.
They are the
They
shit.
freaking love the shit.
I call it a brown one.
Have
It wasn't a
salt and
smallmouth, but
shit.
it was brown. You said exactly how to get there. No, I don't think you did, Paul, but okay.
Yes, I did.
I
I
wasn't-
said I went. I
I
did.
didn't
Yeah, I did.
I
went
didn't-
all the way up to
I
the
didn't
top
even
and
catch
around the rose gallon. I mean,
I
It
didn't
is
catch
what
it,
it
Paul.
is.
So, yeah.
I mean, hey, we're here to help you
But
catch
if-
more.
I say if Craig, Chad said exactly how to get there, $5 ain't enough. You got to pay more than that.
I just gotta say, I'm just here to help Paul Batters learn how to fish the gunpowder better.
Dude,
Well,
Paul put that smackdown on you when he wants to, dude. You got to watch him. He's sneaky. He's a sneaky
okay,
guy.
Dude, I beat Paul last night.
Hey, you could beat Paul, but I'm telling you, he's a sneaky guy. Dude.
I'm a sneaky
He's got
guy.
tricks up his sleeves.
Dude,
Dude.
don't cross Paul.
He wore a short sleeve shirt yesterday. That's what happened. He had the tricks up his sleeve. That's yes.
I thought he had the after one.
He might have. I don't know. He's fucking around. Nah,
He
he's
says,
a
I need
hammer.
all the help that I can get.
Man, don't we all? Dude.
Dude, don't we all, for real?
Hey, it's right place, right time, right bait, figuring them out.
Yep.
It's a matter of just hey, who figures them out.
Yeah, man.
I tell you what, we didn't get on a super strong pattern yesterday. Like we had them totally dialed in, but we came on to a little something enough to, you know how it is. We did a little something different than everybody else was doing. So
Yeah.
right.
It's what you got to do a lot of times. I'm a big fan or I'm a big person. I'm just trying to do something different than what everybody else is doing.
Show 'em
If you're
something
throwing the
different.
same exact thing that everybody else is throwing, it's just not unique to what the bass are seeing. Period.
So I don't say that. Can't miss fish and win. I landed every fish last Friday, last night, one bit, and I missed it. Well, that's why you didn't win, Greg. I'm just messing with you, man. You know I love you, dude.
I mean, it is definitely, dude. It's definitely like missing fish is freaking difficult.
It's
Like missing fish definitely sucks in a tournament. So like on the Friday nighter, on the first Friday nighter for the solstice, like I had big snakehead on the line. I know it, dude. It was 8 to 10 pounds. I didn't close enough to say like definitively, but it was 8 to 10 pounds. I know I had big snakehead, and I got it all the way to the boat, and it freaking came out, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. I was like, I gotta bend these hooks out or something. Like something different needs to happen. I cannot miss fish like this.
Right.
Foster sucks.
Yeah, Foster Branch is. Rob, you got that river figured out? No, I don't know about that, dude. No. People give me more credit than I deserve.
So Paul has a good comment. Not much you can do in 3 hours. You waste half your time. If something doesn't work, that was me yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to where you guys all saw me at 7:30, and I caught 2 fish in it in an hour and a half. If I would have started there, probably could have done something. And I'm not saying I was on the fish to win, but I was on the fish to have a good day. One more fish like the second one I caught, I would have been, if not in the money, damn close.
3 fish.
You gotta grind it out.
Right.
Like, you gotta grind it out, and like they say, there's a little bit of luck involved too.
Yeah, you gotta find where they're at. You know.
Even if you're where they're at, it's like, is that big one going to bite? Is it not going to bite? You going to catch? So I always like, if I hit a spot, because I know the juicy spots, right? So if I hit like a juicy spot and they're not biting there, it's like, well, this ain't the deal. I gotta go find something else, and I don't waste no more time there. I don't know if that's good or bad though. Shit could have changed.
Depends on the day, honestly.
But I bounce really quick. Like, nope, this ain't the deal.
Right.
Yeah, because they're there. I know they're there. They should be biting. They're not biting. I go find something else. And so I don't waste a whole lot of time.
That's like one of the hard parts for me is like figuring out. It's like, okay, so you're out fishing. It's like, how much time do you give yourself on one bait before you decide that you need to go do something else, or decide that you need to try fishing a different spot altogether?
So I think that's kind of my downfall. Sometimes
It's
I
a
won't
huge,
spend enough time
like-
on a spot. Then I'll regret it. Like, oh, I bounced around too much. I probably should have just stayed and slowed down and picked it apart better, because you don't leave fish to find fish. If you know they're there,
Right.
you can figure out how to make them bite.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've definitely made that mistake a few times.
Yeah. Oh, me too. I mean, that's one of my biggest downfalls. It was like, man, you know what? They're not biting here. I'm gonna run here. Then I'm gonna run there. I'm like, well, they ain't biting any fucking where. Should have stayed there and figured out what they're, make a bite. Yeah.
So, all right, y'all. I am going to cut to the end of this podcast as it's going to be 10 o'clock now.
We got to be up
And
in 5
we
hours.
got to be up here really soon to go.
Hey,
do some
Paul.
fishing.
Greg. In 3 hours, I can run to the pond, the quarry, both canals, out past Train Bridge.
But yeah, we got to log off. We got to get some sleep. I got to go out to the garage. I got to tie on a couple baits for tomorrow morning, honestly. So I got a couple things I need to do. So we're going to sign off here. We're going to get ready. Actually, if you guys want to, if you guys are awake, I don't know how many people are going to be awake, but tune in tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to go live on Bass and Beer Radio for our launch tomorrow on the Conowingo. And there he is. There's Martin.
Oh, finally.
Martin, where are you fishing on Monday?
We're fishing at Martin. Go to the chop tank. That's where we're going.
Are you guys fishing Chop Tank on Monday?
Yep.
I know you said you were going to Chop Tank. I don't know.
Yep. Come on, Martin. Chop tank. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
I can't. I got to work on Monday. Fucking bullshit. No, I don't. I'm off the 4th of July.
4th
There
of
you go.
July.
Go
Yeah.
chop tank.
I can go.
You
I'm
should.
down.
Take him with you. Me and
You wanna
Kevin
go?
from my club are going.
To the chop
I'm going to
tank?
have to take Hippie Gibbs with me, dude.
You should.
Yeah.
Let's all go out to the chop
You
tank.
should.
on Monday.
Why not?
Chad and Scuba Steve,
That'd be wild.
Tony, and,
I don't know if
Yeah,
Scuba
good.
Steve is on here or not. So we're linked together on Restream. So we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook.
we get Paul and
And it's
Patrick.
all linked together. So if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. I would love to see if it actually pops up in like the comment feed that we have here.
We got some good comments going.
Martin
We got a lot of
sent me
good
in the heart.
listeners.
Martin says he doesn't need practice throwing a Ned rig. That's a little bit fucked up.
You ain't gonna throw a Ned rig over there. I'm not gonna throw a Ned rig.
What?
Ned rig
I know where I'm
tomorrow.
throwing. I'm not throwing it.
Tomorrow?
Nope.
I'm throwing Ned rig tomorrow.
I mean, I'm gonna have
Well,
a
you're
time
going
on.
small. You're fishing for smallmouth, right? You're not going for a largemouth bite, right?
I'm going for a large mouth.
You
You
are.
start out with top water, but you got to be prepared to do different shit.
But no, I'm just saying you can target largemouth for smallmouth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But like I said,
The largemouth are bigger than smallmouth, right?
Most
You're
definitely
this time
trying
of
to
year,
target
this time of
largemouth.
year,
Yeah, for sure. But we are logging off. We got some shit to do. We're going to go live for launch tomorrow. If you guys are even awake to watch that, we're going to do that, post that up, give you some updates throughout the tournament. And if I got enough battery left on my phone, we may even go live for some weigh-ins.
You see,
Let you guys know
see
how it
Martin's
goes.
Martin said catch those chop tank dinks. Little dinks.
I don't know.
Little
We'll
dinky
see.
dinks.
We'll see.
Little dinky dinks. What the hell is Paul Batter?
110 Whopper plopper. We talking about on the Wingo or are we talking about
Both.
on the tank?
Both.
Okay, well.
Bro. All right. Hey, look, the comments are going off the hook. Love y'all. Check out my
I'm
YouTube
reading
if
these
you get a
comments
chance.
right now. I'm reading these
I know.
comments right now.
We may never get off of here. We might as well just
That's
stay
what
up
I'm
and fish
saying,
in the
dude. Like
morning.
it just keeps on going. Like I feel like
You gotta love
sometimes,
it,
like
though.
we're like getting ready to log off, and everybody's like, "Oh, we're getting ready. We're getting fired up now."
You're gonna
Like,
love Dan's
I'm
comment.
telling you,
Read-
it's like fuck that shit. Like,
the Berkeley Chapo. I can't
oh
say
my
it.
god.
Hey, Guggen makes one now too.
Don't
of
make me
course
put
they
my
do.
face through the
Why
wall,
wouldn't they?
bro.
The Guggen Whopper Chopper or something. I don't know
Why
what it's
wouldn't
called.
they make one?
The,
Right?
the Whopper Chopper. I don't know what they call it, dude.
Oh shit, man, dude! The freaking comments are. We love so much that you guys log in and watch the show. Your comments really give us a lot to kind of bounce off of,
Yeah,
and like keep conversation rolling. And
Hey, Greg.
there we
Hold
go.
on.
We talked about it earlier. I don't know if you're on yet, but we would love to have you on, Greg, anytime for real.
Hey,
Greg,
PM.
Paul,
Martin.
dude, Martin.
Brian.
Dude, Dustin,
Brian Dyson.
Brian Dyson.
Of course, Hippie Gibbs is definitely getting on.
Hippie Gibbs is definitely coming on. Like, you don't even have an option.
Then we're
You just
looking.
have to
We
come on.
might do some bigger guests too. But Greg said next week. All right, Greg.
All right.
We'll hit. Hey,
Greg Hall
We'll talk about it.
on next Friday at 8 p.m.
I mean, you're always welcome, dude. So if
absolutely.
you can make it happen,
We love it. I love that. I love that you're down to come out here.
Next
and talk
week is
to
going
us,
to be
man.
rough because I'm going to get out of here and then leave at 2 in the morning for the chop tank. 2 a.m. to leave for the chop
I
tank.
think Greg said something about MR Bass got something going on with Chop Tank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next
Let's
week or
scroll
so.
up here and see what we got.
Mhm.
Here. I'm on the Chop Tank next week. Them MR Bass 2-day on the Chop Tank the following week. So they have 2 days on the Chop Tank.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to get drunk and pass out in my basement.
Yeah, man.
Talk shit about fishing.
So,
Yeah.
Greg, we'll be in contact with you. We're going to get you to come on the show. We'd love to have you on.
Not only
Come out and
that,
talk.
but me and Paul are supposed to go out on the flat. So, Paul, I will send him my number. Hit me up, dude. Let's do it, dude. Man, he hit me up. He's like, dude, you should fish flats with me. Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Do it, man.
Why didn't you ask
Absolutely
me
do it.
earlier?
You got to get up
Down.
to the Wingo too.
Oh, me and Tony been on that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
we've been
give
talking
me the
about that.
time.
You know,
Let me
it's
know.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
my life is so freaking.
There it is. There's your invite right there, Rob.
Let's do it. I'm down. I'll hit you up, Paul. Thank you, dude.
He's
I'm
on it.
down.
He's on it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. It's time to catch some slumber. Time to tie on some baits. We got some really cool shit coming up next week. Stay tuned for some updates. And it sounds like we're going to be having Greg Hall come on the show next Friday.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about
Don't
everything
ask.
under the
Don't
sun.
don't
Whoa.
tell Hippie Gibbs I told y'all, dude. He'll get mad at me.
freaking the hippie gives.
He's
Killing it
Italian.
on the Holstein worm.
Got a lot.
BassMunitionsLures.com. We can't thank the people that support us enough. BassMunitionsLures.com. We also have UMALureCo.com. Make sure you sign on there. Check out the crankbaits.
Riverboat Rob.
Riverboat
On
Rob is
YouTube.
on here. Go on YouTube and check out Riverboat Rob.
Thank you. Appreciate
We
it.
also got tailored lures. Tailored lures, some sweet frogs, small finesse frogs, great colors, different designs. Go on Taylor Lures Facebook, Taylor Lures Instagram. Hit up Warren Taylor and get yourself some of those Taylor Lures frogs. They make a difference. They catch fish.
If me and Paul go out on the flats Monday, we'll do a video on it. Me and Tony done some videos together.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Chad need. We'll do one together, dude.
We're going now.
Yeah,
Awesome. We're going now.
I need to get some content going. So
Yeah, man.
team up, do a couple videos.
We're gonna work together, try to get everything linked up, and we're gonna try.
But I did want Tony, and he like outfished the shit out of me. So I'm like, damn, dude.
God, dude, it's embarrassing.
Bring you to my river, show you some tricks, and then you outfish me, dude. Like, what the hell? Now we
I think that first
dude,
week
we
whacked them.
we
That's
fucking
great.
smashed them
That's
that day.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's a great.
But yeah, man.
Peace, y'all. Thanks for tuning
Thanks
in,
for tuning in.
everybody. Yeah. Bass and